Bloody hell. Anyways, hello everyone. Sorry about the super late start. I had to go to the doctor today because my back was just killing me from all this unbearable weight of massive talent that I apparently have. I am joined here on the Fake Nerd Podcast, episode 238, by people who also had to go to the doctor, but they're smarter than I am because they decided to go earlier in the day, unlike my dumbass who decided to walk in right when they closed. I have Nicolas Cage with me right here.
Wow.
Oh, I made a mistake.
Wow.
I can't do a Nicolas Cage impression. I made a mistake.
I have Ryan down there.
It's me. I'm Ryan. I didn't see the movie. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but there is still a lot of yelling, so I'll give you the point for that, my friend.
Yeah.
And I have Sparks for Ricky. I go longer and witty.
I'm glad you did it because I wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Committing
okay,
like Nicolas Cage. Real quick. Wish I could have saw the movie, but I saw a play, so I don't feel so bad.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I got
You did-
cultured.
you supported live theater.
And I donated to charity, which I think is also helpful.
Hey,
I also
all good.
supported live
Yeah.
performing arts this weekend.
You did, but yours was more final.
It was, but at least it brought me to a good fantasy.
Did he get quiet
He
for
did.
anyone else?
Yeah, I thought it was me.
Nope.
Me.
Okay.
How about now?
It's the same.
Just yell. It's okay.
Well, Ben figures out what the hell's happening with his microphone. We're going to mute your microphone while you do that. Okay. Yes, we're real quickly. I got a couple of things to talk about before I get into the links. One is, we're going to be doing our book club first because Ryan did not get a chance to see The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. We are going to do it much like we did for The Northman, which was we're going to do our news segment, and we're going to do our book club, and then we're going to do the main topic.
This is anytime this happens now, we're just calling it. It's getting Northman. This is a Northman episode.
It's getting Northman.
It's Northman episode.
How about now? Can you guys hear me okay now?
Sorry,
You're
no.
You're kind of coming in as the more you
We
talk.
can't not hear you. It's just like why are you whispering?
I'm gonna bounce out. I'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
He'll
be back.
Well, he's still here.
Anyway, let's talk.
There he goes. Okay, so the other thing is our anniversary is coming up. Our 6th anniversary, I believe,
Hot dog.
is coming up. We have been doing this for almost 6 years, and y'all are probably sick of us, but we're going to keep going.
Mag isn't. Mag still likes us.
That's true. So Sparks and I discussed it, and so we're going to do this now. Guys, if you got any questions for us that you want us to answer on the 6th anniversary episode, send them in now. You can email them to us. You can message us on our social medias, Fake Nerd Podcast on all social medias, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. Send them there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it in the live comments. That's too much. So if you got questions for us, just send them on over. We'll answer them on our live on our 6th anniversary.
And to be clear, like these are questions that like if you just want to know, have us talk about anything. It can be about stuff related to us or the show, but it can also be about like you want to hear our specific take from us about something or whatever. Like it can be about anything.
Also, in the future, all of my favorite podcasts have like mailbag sections. So just send us emails all the time forever, please. Just start doing it forever.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. We would love to have a full mailbag, but like for this, if anybody's got anything in particular, please throw it at us. No. We're asking for. You weren't here, Ben. We're asking for email questions for the anniversary episode.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And you sound great.
Thank you. It was just simple as plugging in, unplugging, and plugging it back in.
Normally.
Cool. So yes, a little inside baseball because Brian, you mentioned that I did actually have a mailbag segment in the very first show notes.
Oh yeah.
And no one ever emailed us, so I took it out.
The very first episode, we couldn't have any listeners.
No, but that was kind of the thing. So yeah, so if you guys want to just keep doing it, yeah, we'd love to answer some of your questions. I would love to have a mailbox segment.
Hell yeah.
Okay, links, guys. We got links onto your regularly scheduled program. 3 Fake Nerds Watch episodes came out this week. The first one is Moon Knight episode 6. That's out now. So now the entirety of Moon Knight has been covered by us. Check out what we thought about Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it's insert opinion here.
I like
Very
it. I like
nice.
what you did there.
I like it
Uh,
a lot.
No, Sparks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The mystery. Star Trek Picard, episode 10, with myself and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast. That also went up. That's the entire series. Done. Star Trek Picard is good.
Dang. Mike couldn't come back for a finale. He's out. He's just out.
That bitch left me on red.
He hates it that much. He couldn't even stand it.
I said, hey man, how's it going? Red, nothing.
Listen, Picard got him. Maybe Strange New Worlds will rope him back in.
I hope
There
he's
is
liking
another season of Picard coming, right?
it. The third season, yes.
Are you talking about it?
Yeah.
Okay, because you kept like the Fake Nerds Watch episode was shared everywhere as final episode, and I'm like, oh, maybe they don't want to talk about season 3.
Hey man, even if I hated season 2, the Next Generation cast is coming back for season 3. I got it.
Yeah, at the expense of, I guess, every new cast member, huh?
We'll talk about it.
That's what I'm seeing.
We're not going to talk about it.
Oh,
I didn't put it in the news, but because this happened 2 weeks ago. But yes,
Oh yeah.
all but 2 of the main cast members of Star Trek Picard, not including Picard,
That's wild.
are not returning for the next season.
Incredibly rough.
Yeah, I don't. All but 2 kind of have like outs. They've written the character like off the show and okay ways.
Yeah.
So it wasn't entirely unexpected. It's just kind of a bummer because I like those characters.
That is a bummer.
Without any context of like having watched the show, like all my stuff is mostly filtered through you.
Yeah.
And like that this season has been received more positively. It does feel like with the timing of the Next Generation cast returning announcement and all that kind of stuff, that it's like partway through the release of the season, they just went, we're just gonna make the Next Generation next season instead of whatever we've been doing.
I think that's
the vibe. I don't know that that's really what's up, but like that's the vibe. And then watching all these cast members get eliminated is like, oh, that's tough. That's just sad.
Yeah, not to give away anything about the end of the season, but like I said, some of them are written off fine. There's some decisions where I'm just like, that one should come back though. You set that one up to come back.
Sure.
But I digress. All in all, though, I did like this second season. I wish it ended stronger than it began. It just kind of buckled under its own weight, but I think the ending was pretty solid nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for the next season. So
Nice.
Engage.
Nice.
And then the final Fake Nerds Watch episode that dropped. One Star Trek show ends and another begins. Star Trek Strange New Worlds has started, and it's brilliant. It's wonderful. I love it very, very much.
Nice.
It's nice to see Star Trek finally doing the things the Orville was doing correctly.
Right?
Oh, being a Star Trek show?
Yes.
Who could have? Woo!
Fired.
No, I mean, like, it's good.
It's
It's a
true.
positive thing. I'm happy about it. It's
I'm
just
not-
also true.
No, I'm not saying that was a knock on Star Trek. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about Strange New Worlds, and I'm like, damn, I gotta sit down and find time to watch it because I really want to watch that. I'm just like, damn, every other Star Trek show minus Lower Decks hasn't really been giving people the Star Trek they want.
Well, I think if the Orville came out now, it would have a rougher time. But it came out when Discovery was the only show available,
Right.
and it definitely benefited from that.
Yeah,
So
it was
probably.
filling a hole that was not being filled.
Yeah, and now Strange New Worlds is here, filling that hole, and I'm getting spoiled because I got
Strange.
the Orville coming back.
Strange
Anyway.
new hole.
But that's not what we're here.
You and me both, baby. For once, we're in the same place. We're
Woo!
getting the good Star Trek and the good Orville.
So Strange New Worlds, the first episode has dropped. I did that again with Cookie from Just a Little Podcast. I really like that first episode. Spoiler alert, I really like that second episode. I'm in love with the show. I'm in love with this cast. I cannot wait for more. That's all the Fake Nerds watches.
Beautiful.
There are other links, of course, such as Ben's 2 episodes of Grayson Live. You did some more Super Mario Bros. 3D World Mario Kart 1000%.
Double Dash Strikers.
One of those games is coming out soon. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
we played some more Super Mario 3D World. We're gonna take a little bit of a break with Mario next week. Just heads up, we're still gonna be putting up episodes next week. But
Breaking up with Mario?
oh no, we're just gonna relax for a little bit. We're gonna
Oh my.
Oh no.
Mamma mia.
I'm going back to Peach. I'm sorry, Italians. Forgive me.
Doing your best Mark Bonono there. All you can do is a bad Italian accent.
Don't worry, there's still more Mario 3D World coming. It's just next year.
Next
Grayson,
year.
No, next week. Damn it. Next week. I can't think today. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, next week. I'm just saying, one of us, him, is probably gonna start some exploring in I don't know. It's some lands between somewhere.
Do you have anything?
I could bring my Bobby Drake Iceman character that I'm making, that I'm using.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about the episodes that were put up this week, though?
The episodes that I freaking hate poison levels.
That was pretty frustrating to watch.
Yeah, I bet it was. Imagine playing it.
I can't. That's wild.
Is it worse than the poison swamps in Caelid and stuff?
I don't know. I think Caelid and the poison in Elden Ring doesn't really frustrate me as much as the poison in Mario, because at least in Elden Ring, you have chances to like subside the poison. In Mario, you hit that poison, you're dead.
Oh yeah, you got medicine. Yeah, in Mario, you just
no, you don't. You gotta be like on point with your platforming on those games.
Gotta call Dr. Mario.
Oh yeah, that's the crossover.
Yeah.
He just throws a pill in your face.
Ben, speaking of Mario, I'm so sorry, but last week I completely forgot to put the Lack of Genius episode in the description, so it's here now.
Woohoo!
Lack of Genius episode that you were on is now in the description.
Yep.
Okay. Did you want to say anything more about that?
I think I talked about that last week, but I'll regurgitate. Yeah, I got to sit down with Kevin and John from the Lack of Genius podcast, and I quizzed them on some Super Mario Brothers trivia, and I think it went really well. I had a great time, and of course, they invited me back to do another quiz. So just keep an eye on that on my socials and on their socials for when I come back and quiz them on something else. Hint, hint, it's probably going to be about a speedy blue hedgehog.
Street Fighter.
I was trying to think of something slightly closer.
Me too.
Rayman.
I love that the three of us all were just like, what's the 1 degree away from Sonic that we could say?
Ugandan Knuckles.
No, that's still in Sonic. No.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ben, just today, you actually published an article on GoNintendo.com.
Yes, I did. So today, March 15th, as we were recording this, is new Super Mario. Wow, there's a lot of Mario in my description today. In my links.
I'm sorry. What month is it, Ben?
May.
Yeah, you said March.
Oh, you did.
Bro,
2015 is Mario Day.
Hey, did you do your taxes?
Yes. I
right,
quit.
cool.
Bye. You guys have a great show. This is I'm just gonna leave now.
No, come back.
No. Today, May 15th, you're right, I did say March, son of a bitch. May 15th is the 16th anniversary of New Super Mario Bros., which came out for the Nintendo DS way back in 2006.
It can Mario Kart legally now.
Listen, yeah. And I wrote a little retrospective because that game is the highest selling Nintendo DS game of all time. Beat out Mario Kart DS, beat out Nintendogs, Brain Age, all of them.
I remember Nintendogs.
Buy it on the eShop now.
You can't buy it on the eShop now. The DS games aren't available on the eShop.
Right.
Although New Super Mario Bros. 2 is, because that's a 3DS game, but that's not the point. The point is, this game started the new Super Mario Bros. Games that came out for the Wii, the Wii U, and the 3DS respectively. And while the series as a whole isn't really looked up falling upon because Nintendo didn't do anything new with the new, it's just like, hey, here's a new side-scrolling Super Mario game. The first one is still widely regarded as the best one. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, if you do want a hard copy yourself, the game is not hard to find. It's still pretty easy on the wallet. It's about like $11 loose, 2015 complete in box. So if you want to replay this game, you have a DS lying around, and you've never gave it a shot, I still say it's a great time to play.
Let's go.
Awesome. All right. And then on my end of things, I, of course, published a bunch of stuff for Screen Rant. This week, I believe there was just today, there was a Halo article that was published where I talked about some quotes about Master Chief and Cortana. They're one of my favorite relationships in video games. So like getting to talk about that was really cool. There was an Elizabeth Olsen list that turned out very strange. Marty actually messaged me about it. It was like, this is a strange list. I go, it really was a strange list. So if you want to see a odd ranking of Elizabeth Olsen's movies, but Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness did make it on there, so that was cool.
Look at
That's
that.
good.
Good for you, Marvel.
Right? Actually, all the Marvel movies made it on there.
Oh.
Thank God that they finally got some attention, though.
Right? Good news though, Ingrid Goes West did make it on that list, and I was very happy about that.
Shit, yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, the movie's rules.
Wait,
Um,
Angry or Ingrid?
Ingrid.
I heard you say Angry Goes West. I'm like, who the
Ingrid
hell
Goes
is
West
Ingrid?
is a excellent cop dramedy,
Dramedy.
about Aubrey Plaza playing a
She's a
character who's
stalker.
obsessed and stalking Elizabeth Olsen's character.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
It's a really great movie. I really liked it.
Very good.
Sparks and I saw it on one of his many trips down before he lived here.
Nice.
And there's another Halo one because the Halo show frustrated me very much. I put another Halo one up there, and a Doctor Strange. There's a Doctor Strange cameo list where like Reddit was like, I wanted these cameos, so I wrote a list about that. You know how it goes. So those are those. But
Since you brought up the Doctor Strange cameos,
yes,
what was the list?
10 cameos Reddit fans wanted in Doctor Strange 2.
Got you. Was Aaron Taylor Johnson's Pietro on that list?
He didn't make the cut, but he was mentioned.
Someone shared that around. There's no other good place to talk about this, but I did want to talk about this with you guys because I've been talking about it with Michael because I saw it get shared around on Twitter where someone was like, these are the cameos, and like it was a very short list, and they were reasonable. Like one was White Vision, one was the Watcher, but like in there was Johnson's Pietro, and he said, not only did I want him in this movie, I wanted him to be a superhero in the world of the Illuminati, and have him like have to be that direct confrontation to Wanda. It would have been a way to help illustrate that this is more than just Wanda doing something.
Oh,
to
sure.
imply that corruption was further there and like deepen that emotional. Man, I was mad when I realized that. I'm trying not to be too spoilery for anybody that hasn't seen it.
Yeah, because she in the movie doesn't really mention Vision or Pietro.
And I was like, that would have been such a good way to illustrate like quickly her feeling way more than just like a bad day.
Yeah. Mag does have a question here in the chat. Was Tom Cruise on it? Yes, he did make the
fans
cut
wanted
on that
list. Bad. Hell, I wanted that. That would have been fun.
That would have been really fun.
I didn't need it. I would have enjoyed it.
I would not have hated it.
I didn't hear about the Tom Cruise stuff until you guys started talking about it, and I just stole that from my bingo card because I needed a space.
It's still so funny that like that first Doctor Strange trailer that had like Maria Rambeau or whoever it's supposed to be, like that's Tom Cruise. And I'm like, we were the literally opposite of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right. It's really good.
And speaking of the Infinity Saga, or sorry, it's not the Infinity Saga. Whatever. Speaking of Marvel, my 39th entry in the Revisiting the Infinity Saga, I've done my 4-page long interlude with the Defenders, which I kind of want to go back and write another paragraph on. I got to restrain myself. Is done, and I'm kind of back into the countdown. So I did Thor's arc in Avengers Endgame through the lens of the moment where he cuts off Thanos' head in the beginning.
He went for the head.
I'm pretty happy with how that one turned out because I really like Thor's arc in Avengers Endgame. I like how it's portrayed. And so I just kind of want to give that its due. I hope I did.
You definitely did, and actually I have to thank you because you gave me even more. This is gonna sound bad, and I apologize, but you gave me more ammo because one time I got into a bit of a friendly debate with a good friend of mine, because he thought Thor was ruined in Endgame, and I'm trying to tell him, no, dude, he feels the weight of all that was lost. So now I have even more ammo if we ever get in that conversation again. He's like, yeah, Thor still sucks in Endgame. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He's one of the best characters there.
He did feel the weight a lot.
And that's why I do this, for Ben's ammo.
Article.
like a shirt gun, but it's rolled up articles.
Yeah.
Oh god, come on. But no, it was a really good piece, dude.
I appreciate you saying that. And that's all the links below. So, who wants to go first of their week?
Just real quick. Also, we now have our Fake Nerd Awards special taken out of the episode, and it's its own thing. You can watch on YouTube. So the link's not down there, but like if you want to check out, if you haven't watched our Fake Nerd Awards, I highly recommend it. It was a great show.
I think I also saw just briefly. You also put up Sonic Sonic review.
Yep, the Sonic 2 review. Most of our most recent episodes, the reviews are getting separated out individually, slowly.
Nice.
Um,
Love it.
Sorry,
But the
I
Fake
missed
Nerds Awards, I want to direct people to it because if they haven't caught it yet, here's a good chance to just catch the show.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Who wants to go first of the week?
I will.
Do
It's
it.
me. I'm going to talk about some stuff.
Mario.
Guys, I saw The Northman yesterday.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I did. Michael and I had opportunity, so we went and saw The Northman together. I really, really liked it. I thought it was very good.
Yes.
Something that helped is that Michael brought up to me very early in the film that he's like, they're doing a lot of like symmetrical stuff with the camera, and that like he's almost always center frame. And anytime he is center frame, it is because he is veering off of Odin's path, or he is being tempted to veer off of Odin's path. But when he's doing the thing that Odin wants him to do, he is always center frame because he is following the path of the gods. And I was like, son of a bitch, this is a great movie. So anyway, I really like The Northman.
Hell yeah.
I had a great time. I'm sorry I couldn't be part of that conversation now. But I'm glad you guys got to have it. I'm glad now I'll get a chance to listen to it.
We all hated it. We thought it was poopy. Come on. Come on. Cool
would be-
camera angles. Bleh.
I vibed with that movie hardcore.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it. I thought that there's just some wildly cool stuff in it. Let's see. Slowly catching up on Craig of the Creek. I'm just kind of doing that when I have like small moments. It's a Craig of the Creek episode. I'm still watching The Bad Batch. Did anybody watch past episode 1? Nope.
I didn't even watch episode 1.
Okay, so like definitely my impression from episode 1 was like, oh yeah, this can be a pretty good like jumping on point. Like Megan could watch this and probably keep up just fine and be invested and have a good time. And I'm feeling a little less confident of that now that I've gone to episode 2, which is not a bad thing, but like Cut, if anybody remembers that clone's name, is in the second episode, like immediately. Cut is the deserter who got a family.
Oh, you're
in
right.
Clone Wars. And so I'm like, oh, like you should know this guy. Like you should watch Clone Wars before you watch The Bad Batch for sure. There's a lot of that going on. Good show, really enjoying it. I was happy to see Cut again. I thought they used him really well. I watched Strange New Worlds.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Bow, bow.
I'm keeping up. I'm watching Star Trek. It's a really good episode. They do some really.
I really love the Uhura in it, just specifically. I think she's really great.
Yeah, they do some sexy stuff with music. I really like it.
That ship, man.
Sexy stuff with music.
Yeah, you heard me.
That ship, that refit of the Constitution is so. I just like when they were doing the evasive maneuvers and Ortegas is flying the ship. I was like, oh baby.
You're gonna get an eagle moss
Again, again, I'm like, oh, it's nice that Star Trek's finally willing to challenge the Orville for its spot.
Right. I think that like we'll talk about it. We're talking about the Orville, but I love it. I'm so excited with Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's a thoroughly enjoyable experience. I'm watching Close Enough, but I'm not watching the new season. I've started from the beginning because I'm showing it to Michael. So Michael started watching Close Enough, and I'm watching some of the earlier episodes, and Close Enough is great. I have started my summer of anime, friends, which means in this last week, I have watched all of Made in Abyss and the follow-up film, Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul. Guys, Made in Abyss is real cool.
Okay, tell me
all
more.
the background art is incredible. It looks like it's out of a Ghibli thing. That's because it's designed by one of the people from Ghibli. It looks awesome. It has cool world building. The characters are great. The music is incredible. Y'all remember Full Metal Alchemist when Tucker made a chimera?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, like, he takes his daughter and he takes a dog. And
you mean one of the most.
That's what the dog is. So I see TikToks of this dog sometimes. I'm like, oh, I wonder what the deal is with that dog.
So an alchemist in Full Metal Alchemist, spoilers for this very old series. In Full Metal Alchemist, there's an alchemist who like he needs to turn in something for the military to give him funding, and so he's like, okay, I really got to make something real quick. So he makes a chimera out of his daughter and their dog.
Oh,
Very
no.
sinister.
It's really traumatizing and horrifying. Well, moments like that happen at pretty regular moments in Made in Abyss. So if you want a pretty sadistic but really well made show, Made in Abyss is for you.
Sounds
There's
like it's
really
made for
great
me.
character stuff, but it's also like, ooh boy, ooh, that hurts so good, ooh boy. There's just a lot of that.
Love it.
Because I finished that, we also started a new anime that we're now almost done with, which is called No Game No Life. No Game No Life is pretty cool.
I've seen that before. I watched that anime.
Yeah. Yes. It's
I know that one. I know that one. Just I get that reference.
I'm enjoying No Game No Life. It is one of the horniest anime I've ever seen.
That's for anime. That's saying something.
You're not wrong. This is
boy.
like as close as you can get to hentai without being hentai.
Oh, so way worse than Evangelion.
Bro, Evangelion is tame.
Yeah,
I don't know. If you ever watch Food Wars, that's pushing the lump. That's probably gonna give No Game No Life a little bit of run for more than how horny it is.
Ben, there's
What?
literally a sequence where they just they do 2 minutes of a hentai. They just don't show you anything.
Oh, I know.
What's the
Hot
show
Dog.
called?
Hot Dog Fingers.
No
What's the
Game
show
No
called?
Life.
No Game No Life. I'm just writing it down for an unrelated reason.
For research.
I mean, it's cool. So they get pulled into a game world where everything functions by the rules of playing games. You can't actually commit physical violence. All altercations are resolved by playing games. And these are just these people who've been pulled out of Earth are the two greatest players ever. And so they just totally bulldoze over everybody else because they just know how to play games instinctually in a way that other people don't. And they constantly underestimate them because they're humans. Just cool. It's fun. It's colorful. It's horny as shit. Yeah. Watching anime, having a good time. That's me.
Oh,
Okay.
no,
I was gonna ask Sparks where in the anime he is, but at the same time, that's probably a spoiler of where he is.
They just went to the War Beasts and showed that they know everything about how their game works. Basically, showed that they know they have video games. And we're like, so you're gonna have to come challenge us, and then that's gonna be the next episode.
Gotcha. Oh, you're you're deep.
It's
in it.
only a 12-episode anime. It's not hard to.
Oh, that's nothing.
The thing is,
get
we
deep
don't
into
know. We don't know if we're ever gonna get a season 2 because the way
We're
it
probably
ends,
not.
yeah. Especially the way it ends is bullshit. We're season 2.
Michael told me.
Okay.
He prepared me for it in advance. He's like, so you're not gonna get a conclusion. And I'm
Hey,
like, oh, okay.
That Gurren Lagann show, that's getting a season 2?
Gurren Lagann? Will Gurren Lagann have a season 2? I don't think so.
Probably
I don't
not.
think so either.
Okay.
Ben, why don't you go next?
Okay. Let's totally ignore. Let's go only to the fun stuff and not talk about my god awful week where I totally called out one of my supervisors for being a dick, and then he completely validated my point by being even more of a dick. Cool.
Sounds like you want to talk about it, Ben.
No.
Okay.
I want to talk about A New World, which is a small Final Fantasy concert, which is a small concert that's the tagline is A New World, intimate music from Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
Now, you guys may know of Distant Worlds, which is the big symphony orchestra for Final Fantasy that they play. I'm actually going in September. I just bought tickets this weekend. Or they're gonna play it at the Microsoft Theater in downtown Los Angeles. So this one I was supposed to go back in January. COVID happened. They decided to postpone it until May. It was gorgeous. It was a much smaller orchestra. It was a much smaller. The arrangements were beautiful, but even with not as many instruments as you would think, it still sounds absolutely beautiful, just straight from the games. And the crowd was into it. It was calming. Of course, they played One Winged Angel because you have to.
I was going to ask.
Oh, shut up! You sound like Yeah, when they played One Winged Angel, the crowd was they were into it. It was such a great night, and it actually made me really excited to go see the show again because it's the only bummer is that you don't have a big screen watching the footage from the game, so you kind of have to really guess to see where the music came from. But thankfully, the conductor, he took breaks every once in a while and said, "Oh, we played this song from Final Fantasy whatever. We also played this one from Final Fantasy." Insert the name here. So you knew what the songs were. You weren't constantly like, what was that one song? Because there are times where songs were played, and I was sitting there going, That's not the bombing mission, but it sounds like the bombing mission, and it's not. It's not. Am I tripping? It's not the bombing mission. Hey, this one's from Ford. Nope, wasn't the bombing mission.
When you said the people went crazy for One Winged Angel, for some reason in my mind, I just imagine like everyone in the crowd is chilling, and then Sephiroth starts playing, and everyone's just like, yeah, and they start ripping their shirts off. They start foaming at the mouth. It becomes an orgy. The violinists are like, ah.
What's the thing? What's the thing where it's just like someone goes completely crazy and it just like passes out and foams at the mouth?
Oh my god, that's from
that's the guy from Avatar.
Avatar.
From
Avatar.
Yeah.
It's like
that's just what I imagine. It's like Sephiroth. Yeah.
That's a good pool.
So they were talking about, it's like, yeah, we're reaching the end of the show. They played, I forgot what was one of the penultimate songs, but then they're like, okay, so for our last big number, we're gonna do something completely different. It's gonna be completely outside Final Fantasy. Just kidding, it's One Winged Angel.
Did they do anything from X2? X10, X10 2 with
they did play
Yuna,
They played nothing from X2. They only did the main lines.
That's fine.
They played Xanarkand, which
I like Final Fantasy X a lot.
No, Xanarkand almost made me cry. It was absolutely beautiful. But then after they were done with One Winged Angel, they played the Chocobo theme, and the pianist. It was hilarious because the pianist, when they're doing like a little interlude for the Chocobo theme, the pianist takes up a squeaky toy and squeaks it to imitate the Chocobo sounds.
I love it. That's awesome.
It was a fun time. If it's in your area, I would highly recommend going. It's not the big bombastic concert people might want to go, but it's still a very, very fun night, beautifully performed. And yeah, it's an intimate night with music from Final Fantasy.
Ben, can you pull up Mag's latest comment, please?
Yeah, he says, curious for the Dragon Ball Z concert.
I've seen ads for that.
What?
I was considering going, but
are you sure about that?
But I don't know. I don't think I can because it's money.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
I would have really liked to go, but I don't know whose music it is. Is it the original Japanese or Bruce?
It's not Faulkner.
Faulkner.
It's gonna be the original Japanese.
You mean I'm not gonna get the rap, Sparks?
No.
Darn.
Chala.
Although I do like Chala Hechala it rules.
There's a lot of great original Dragon Ball Z music, and there's some that I think is just a little too aged and frankly not for me because I grew up on Faulkner. But yeah, like that's one of the reasons why I was like, I'd probably have a good time, but like it's not worth $150 to me.
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
my tickets for Distant World in September were about $94 a pop.
Much pop.
Michael invited me to go to Dragon Force back in April or whatever it was, and I was going to do it, but then I lost my job at AMC after a week of having it, and I decided to go freelance for writing, and I realized, oh, I make much less money now.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, actually, Brandon, I was going to ask you because Sabaton's playing the day before my Final Fantasy concert, and you want to try and go?
Let me ask my sugar mama.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good live.
I mean, I miss Beast in Black, but I really want to try and go see Sab.
I would love to see Sabaton in concert. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Oh, we should do
I'll
that.
drive.
Well, of course you are. I don't have gas.
Yeah. Well,
Just I perpetually don't have gas anymore in my car.
yeah. So besides the concert, we also made a day of it, and I got to visit my buddy who owns his own brewery in San Diego. And it's not because you guys met him. It's my buddy JP, the guy who brews his own beer or used to brew his own beer in his house. Now he has an actual storefront that he's sharing with another brewery, and it was just great to see an
That's
old friend
awesome.
drink some delicious Nectar of the Gods beer, and it was a good day. Very hectic because we were running all over the place, but it was still a very fun day. The concert was amazing. The only sour note was that the Kings got knocked out of the playoffs, but that's a bummer.
Ben, I'm just really happy that you got to have a fun time in San Diego and that it was the correct day for the concert this time.
Yeah.
See, I
forgot about that.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
But I'm really happy for you.
You guys want to know how many times I double checked my email and I checked the website to make sure it wasn't
Every hour.
When you said you bought tickets for the next showing, you're like, you got to double check that email, man. You gotta, but I didn't say it.
He bought tickets for like Arizona.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what's the AZ stand for? I was like, that's in Arizona. Oops.
It's an awesome good time.
Yeah. So, hey, I fully admit that was the last time I went down there for the concert. That was my bad. I didn't check my emails. So
Fun little drive.
yeah. And once again, it's not the worst thing in the world. It wasn't. I mean, it's not super close, but it wasn't that far of a drive down to La Jolla. So yeah, Final Fantasy, New World, Final Fantasy, music from Final Fantasy, great. If you can, go see it. And this is just more stuff for me to write because I'm going to be writing a music article for Fusion soon. And now that concert halls are putting these big productions of selections from video games, it's like video game music is now more legitimate in today's day and age. It makes me happy.
Speaking of music, I was listening to the Doctor Strange soundtrack. Oh boy, that's some good music.
I also listened to some of that this week.
Yeah, it's a good soundtrack for sure.
I also, Ben, are you done?
He's drinking.
Cool.
at least
So I will transition into my week. Speaking of
I
music,
played Elden Ring too.
Yes, we did play Elden Ring, but that's
That's
going to be forever.
Given at this point.
My Chemical Romance released a new single. My Chemical Romance is back. It's 6 minutes of just emo glory. It's so good. Like the first minute, you're like, oh my god, it's so nice to hear a new song from a band you love so much, and like it's like they never left. Like this sounds so good. Gerard Way is the best. It's only a single, so like that album's coming soon. I spent most of my week in Gotham City, y'all. For audio listeners, my background is Gotham City with a guy, a little B-Man. You got a little Batman there. So before I get a job, I'm gonna try to stream as much as I can because I like video games and I think I'm funny sometimes, like 30% of the time. But I streamed all of Batman, the Telltale series, season 1. There's a second season, but they just call that something else. But I played that for about 8 hours this week. Really, really good shit, y'all. Really compelling stuff. I really have only one big problem with it. And I think there's a character turn that's very fast and very sudden. And it's like a character needs to become a bad guy. And I'm like, so we're just doing it like that. Like we're just like cutting to the chase and like kind of irked me, but everything else is really well done. It is so similar to the Batman, y'all. It's not even funny. And like, I'm not saying the writer of the Batman took a lot of cues from this, but let me tell you, you got Selena Kyle stealing something from the mayor involving one of her friends, and you got the Penguins involved, and there's police corruption, and like Gordon's involved, and Mayor Hill, and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, this is very similar. The Waynes are corrupt. The thing that they really go into, and this isn't a spoiler for the game because it's kind of the crutch of it. Like the Waynes are corrupt. They are bad. And like how far does it go is like as you learn through the thing, but it is really, really compelling stuff. Like Batman's entire mission is like, have I been doing this for nothing? Like it's really good shit, y'all. The stuff with Selena is so good. I love it so much. The stuff with Harvey Dent, really good. There's like a really fun like 3-way romance thing happening that you don't have to engage with. But I'm Bruce Wayne and I love Selena Kyle and I love that ship. So I went hard. Anytime there was romance options, I was in it to win it, baby. I was there the whole time. No matter how fickle she can be with her thieving heart. Really fun stuff. And I think it's also a really fun, this isn't just to like promote myself. I think it's a really fun stream to watch because it's like watching a movie that like you have to make split second decisions. You've all played Telltale games of variety. The decisions you have to make are really hard. And like there was times where like I don't know what to do and there's a bar going down, like you have to make a choice, something bad's gonna happen. I'm like, oh, this is really good shit. It's like really compelling. Like the choices, like they feel like they have impact up until a point. Once I started to get to the end, I'm like, okay, I see, no matter what choice I would have made, this is probably still gonna happen, but like in the moment it felt really good. So that's great. I did that. I started season 2, The Enemy Within. Joker's in it. He's in season 1, but he's not the Joker, he's John Doe. Also a really compelling character, a really different take on the Joker that I really like. Also a really different take on the Riddler. He's like Jigsaw from Saw. Really good, really fun stuff. Those Telltale, yeah, it's great. It's really good. Those Telltale games are really, really fun. And it's a shame they didn't get a 3rd season because I think Batman and the medium of comics and adapting, they do some really, really good stuff.
Now, did it not get a 3rd season because they went under?
I don't think so. I think it's just they made 2 and then they just didn't make a 3rd one. I don't think it was ever planned.
Because I was wondering if now that they're back, they would revisit it.
Yeah, I personally would hope so. Like I don't know if Warner Brothers would give them the license again because it's been long enough now. But like yeah, like definitely I still think the best Telltale game they made is the first Walking Dead season. That's like a just phenomenal piece of art. But like this one's a really, really great, especially if you love Batman. Troy Baker as Batman, he's fine. He's okay. He's good. He's giving a good performance, but he's not doing anything, I think, extraordinary. Unlike the other role in the other Batman property I watched this week, which was the first of the Long Halloween adaptations.
Oh yeah.
He's the Joker in that.
Yeah.
And he is incredible. He is and the funny thing is he's been the Joker before in Batman Arkham Origins, but he's not playing the same type of Joker. This, like, obviously you got Mark Hamill, right? And then you think of John DiMaggio in Under the Red Hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would put this almost up there for real. I think he is such an unhinged Joker, especially like if you read The Long Halloween, like the Joker in that story is he's the wild card. He's unhinged. His Joker is so good. It's so good. Jensen Ackles as Batman, love it. I think the whole cast is great. I think it's probably the best adaptation that the DC animated movies have ever done, mostly because they split it into 2 parts and they can just actually adapt it as it is. Like they don't have to cut anything. They don't have to change anything. It's just a story. It can be as mature as it wants. And again, the new animation style, like I know you've seen all these movies, Brandon, but like it's so crisp. It's so crisp and it looks so good. And
I hope you'll go back and watch Superman Man of Tomorrow.
I will. I was going to, but honestly, I was in a Batman mood because I just played 8 hours of Batman. I was just like, I want more Batman. And I forgot how good The Long Halloween is. It's a really good, compelling mystery. And I forgot because it's been just long enough where by the end of that movie, they confront who they think the killer is. And I'm like, I saw this coming a mile away. Of course this is the killer. It's not the killer. Of course not. And I'm like, oh God, mysteries are good. Really good shit. Really good post-credit scene, which Poison Ivy is in that comic. So like, oh, this is the next half of the movie and she's poisoning people. And I'm like, oh man, so good. So I'm definitely going to check out Man of Tomorrow. Man of Tomorrow?
Yeah, Man of Tomorrow is the first one.
Yeah. There's also the Justice Society one.
Justice Society World War II is the second one.
Okay. I'll probably check that one out later. I'm more interested in the Superman one.
Yeah, the Batman ones. So there's 2 things. One, Jensen Ackles, one of my favorite Batman.
His Batman voice is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
The other thing is I'm really glad I watched that before the Batman because the Batman has a scene where Carmine was like, your dad helped me once. He like slammed me on the table. I was like, oh, that's from the Long Halloween.
Yes. I immediately caught that too, and I'm like, oh man, there is more Long Halloween than I remember. Yeah, that Batman movie, the Batman, real good.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, I watched that. I'm gonna watch part 2, maybe tonight if I don't stay up too late because I'm just jonesing to watch it. And then. I played some Fortnite. I played some Elden Ring with Ben. I started Bobby Drake Iceman. And I'm struggling with, do I want to make that into just a video or do I want to like stream that as a process? So I'm figuring that out because like I've watched a lot of Elden Ring like build videos and like some are really long, some are really short. And I'm like, I got to figure out what's best for me because I don't think I just want to stream it because I don't think that'll be as fun. But we're working on it. But I'm still playing Elden Ring. The last thing I did this week was I finished Our Flags Mean Death. I don't want to be hyperbolic. It's not just like a great show. I think it's an important show. I think it's, and I've trying to wrap my head around why I think it's so fucking good. Like truly, like it's not just funny. It's not just has great characters. There's just something about it that other shows, and this is not me disparaging any other shows, I promise. There's just something in the way that it's telling its story and the way it's being progressive in this genre show about comedy pirates. That is just it's unparalleled in TV. I've never felt this way about watching this type of show before. Like this show lies to you about what it's about. First of all, it draws you in with being I'm a silly gentleman pirate. It's one of the most like real looks at romance I've ever seen in my life. And I don't want to spoil too much about it. Like a lot of it's already out there, and I'm sure if you're on Twitter, you've seen a lot of it. But like the impact of the slow progression of these characters getting to know each other, how they are the opposite ends of the spectrum in life, and how they get to meet each other, and how the things that they want coincide. And it being about 2 men, it's really profound, and it's like it's really like believable, and like the comedy turns into drama in like such a real way that I've never felt in a show like this before.
It's effortless.
It's effortless. It feels like I'm watching like real shit happen, and then an SNL comedian will show up out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh right, it's also this show. Mm-hmm. It's balancing so many different tones in a way that like I just can't believe the show exists. It's truly like one of the best shows ever made. I really think so. I have not thought about much else. Yeah, and then like and of course, this type of thing, like, oh, once you buy a type of car, you see that car everywhere now. Like, now that I've seen the show, I just see it so much more on Twitter now, and I'm interacting with more on Twitter. I'm like, if this show doesn't get a season 2, like, for real, it's going to be a crime. It's going to be.
It was after Peacemaker ended, it was HBO Max's highest rated show.
Yeah. And I looked it up. If any of the creators have said anything about not getting a season 2, the main reason that they've said is because of the merger with Discovery. That is taking up a lot of the time. So it's not that it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, but to say it is a possibility. But right now, we're not even talking about it because of the merger.
Yeah.
And my big thing that scares me is that it'll take long enough where it'll just be forgotten. That's my big fear, because it ends on a cliffhanger, and on such a cliffhanger where I was crying, and I'm like, they cannot do this to an audience. They did it on purpose. It's too good. They left it on such a good cliffhanger. They're like, oh my God. One of the
it's special.
It really is. Like, and it does take a while to get there. I don't think, like, it takes up to like episode like 4 or 5 to really get what's going on with the show. But up until then, it's been great. It's been a great comedy, but it transforms into something that you just don't expect. And again, like Brandon, like, I've been thinking about it so much. Like, it's a really compelling piece of art while also being a stupid good comedy.
Discovery said that they're one of the main goals is like really beef up streaming, and I'm like, well, your highest rated streaming show is just waiting for a renewal.
Yeah, I guarantee it's happening. I'm sure it is just like behind the scenes stuff. It's like we're not moving forward with stuff until the merger happens, and I believe that because like it is critically acclaimed. People are watching it. Yeah, love it. Can't wait to sing its praises more to people. I think that's my week.
It's also a beautiful show.
Yeah, it's really well shot. Like fun sets. Yeah.
Okay, I did a bit more than I thought I did, so I'll try and run through it. I watched The Quick and the Dead. It is a Sam Raimi Western film starring Sharon Stone and
hell yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, Gene Hackman.
And a young Leo DiCaprio, Lance Henriksen, great all-star cast.
Keith David.
Really enjoyed it. I really like Sam Raimi. I was kind of in a Sam Raimi kick, and I was like, I like Westerns. I like Sam Raimi. Let's see how these do. Turns out great.
Oh, we forgot Russell Crowe.
Well, Russell Crowe is also in it.
He's a priest who no longer shoots people.
But he's the fastest gun in the West.
That movie rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. I had a good time with that one. And then I watched. I was on an episode of Kaiju Weekly this week. I recorded it this week. It's coming out next week.
Nice.
To talk about a movie I watched, Pacific Rim Uprising.
Sparks, it's time.
I have not seen it in 4 years. The last time I saw it was in theaters. And it's fine.
Hell yeah. You did not like it though, I remember. So
it's true.
It being fine, massive upgrade in my opinion.
Yeah, I even talked about that on Kaiju Weekly. It's like, I really didn't like it. And I wrote down copious amounts of notes. I really go into like what my problems are with the movie, what I actually really enjoyed this time around. For example, I really like Scrapper this time around. There's a scene where she just like rolls out of a plane. I'm like, yeah, Scrapper to the rescue.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my review, as I recall, the kind of things I've been parroting ever since does still stand, but there was more I was able to enjoy about this one.
I'm glad.
So yeah, that's one of the longest Kaiju Weekly episodes yet. So go check that out when it's up. I'll post about it.
Get it on till I die.
I watched Disney Gallery, The Book of Boba Fett. It's their kind of behind the scenes thing they did for Book of Boba Fett. An hour long doc. Brown. It's an hour-long documentary. It feels like it was a documentary for a different show.
The Mandalorian.
Because they really were talking about it like, yeah, we showed Boba Fett as he was, as people wanted to see in The Mandalorian, so we get to bring that Boba Fett over. I was like, okay, you didn't though. You see how you didn't?
This is one of those ones that we talk about. Like, this is one of those fluff ones.
But it's not though. It doesn't feel like a fluff. Like it is like it is talking about like we Boba Fetted. And like the fluff ones that I kind of go to are the ones that are just kind of like beat to beat. Like this is what we did on this scene. This is what we did on this scene. This is what we did on this scene. But there's actually a lot of discussion about going into the show they made. They think they made for the Book of Boba Fett. Why they made this decision. How it made sense to them. How it did this. Like they really go deep. And I'm just like, boy, you guys really thought you did it.
Yeah, maybe they missed the mark and they just didn't see the mark, unfortunately.
I think so, because there's a lot of talk about how like, Yeah, with them bringing in the Mandalorian and Luke Skywalker and Grogu, and they're talking about like, people want to see what happened to Grogu, so we're like, okay, we got to show what happened to Grogu. I'm like, you really thought that made sense, huh? You really thought you did it. All right.
I mean, yeah, we want to know what happened to Grogu, but we want to know what happened.
But in season 3.
Oh, you mean Boba Fett? That was season 3, maybe, possibly. Should have.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they talk a little bit about Cad Bane, and that was cool because I like that. I like that they brought him back. And yeah, look, it's actually a pretty good documentary. I would say the documentary is better than the show.
Hot dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they talk about the big droids?
No. They just talk about the Rancor though.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of it. Okay.
It's a lot of volume, a lot more volume stuff than I thought. And a lot more practicals than I thought. Like they really went all out with like making the Rancor head and things. And Sparks, there's a scene that reminded me of you because Jon Favreau is like, I really wanted to bring in a Rancor because one of the things that's seared into my mind about Return of the Jedi is the Rancor Wrangler who cries at the loss. Like, what is this? So it's like a pet. So like we really wanted to bring that. I was like, oh yeah.
It's one of the best things the show did is talk about the fact that like a Rancor gets attached to whoever it sees first, and like they are connected. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
Big pup.
So I thought that was fun. How the Jon Favreau had the same.
Anytime you kill a Rancor, somebody loves that Rancor.
It's true. I killed a lot of Rancor in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Yeah, but those are bad Rancor.
But they've got riders.
But those are bad riders.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Let's do this one. Jessica Jones season 2. I finished Jessica Jones season 2. This actually just today. It was okay. Kind of a slog. I wasn't crazy about where the story was going. This is the one where her mom's the villain.
Yeah. I like that season a lot, but I get it.
It just kind of meandered a lot. Like it just didn't commit to a villain. And it kind of felt like it should have. However, there's a really good episode that I really liked, which is the one where Kilgrave comes back, but he's in her head.
Mm-hmm.
And she becomes like the voice on her shoulder, like both good and bad, like helping her through a case. I was like, all right, well, David Tennant's back, so that's kind of cool.
It's nice that he did come back because spoilers, he's not alive.
Yeah, and I really like. I think Kilgrave was one of the better villains, and that was kind of one of those times where I was like, oh right, Kilgrave ruled. He was a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
Bad person.
Yes.
I'll go on to season 3 probably this week because I finished the show Star Trek: The Animated Series.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
I don't either. I've blocked it from the recesses of my mind, or I didn't watch season 3 because I've watched all those things. But I'm like, there's a season 3 of Jessica Jones.
Yes.
And I was like, was this after the other things have already gotten canceled and stuff?
It was last.
It was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the last show.
I gotta watch a trailer or something because I have no memory of a season 3. That's crazy.
Gotcha.
It's the only show that actually I got to complete its story because Melissa Rosenberg, when she started, was like, yeah, I got a 3-season arc. And then she got 3 seasons.
Sorry, Melissa, I let you down.
I don't know who read my piece.
Technically, Defenders got to complete its arc too.
That's true. I don't know who read my Defenders piece, but I talked about how Melissa Rosenberg was actually on the project on a Jessica Jones series when it was AKA Jessica Jones on ABC. 2010, and then she continued developing the series when it moved to Netflix. So she is the only one who stayed on the show from literally beginning to end.
That's not usually the case, and that's very cool.
Yeah, so she had a real passion for it. Although it's really interesting because the AKA Jessica Jones was going to have Carol Danvers instead of Patsy Walker.
Ooh, wild.
Because
that's pre Marvel stuff. Yeah.
Before it was 2 years before she became Captain Marvel. So she was still Miss Marvel, and she's Jessica's best friend in the comic. Mm-hmm. So that role became Patsy Walker when they were like, actually, we're gonna use Captain Marvel.
Bendis is like he's the guy who made Jessica Jones big, and he was writing Avengers with Miss Marvel, and he liked to write them.
Yeah. Okay. So I watched Star Trek: The Animated Series. This is the first time I've been through the entire thing. I've watched kind of sporadic episodes throughout. That show does not hold up very well.
Oh no.
It's very nice that it's quick. They're 20-minute episodes, 25-minute episodes because you put in some commercials. But the animation is very cheap, and I just found out why the animation was cheap. It's because they spent all their budget getting the stars back.
Mm-hmm.
So what they had Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner, James Doohan, and DeForest Kelley. So Kirk, Spock, McCoy and Scotty.
Mhm.
And James Doohan, who plays Scotty, would also play every other male part. And then Majel Barrett, who plays Nurse Chapel, would play every other female part, including Uhura.
Oh no.
So Majel Barrett, a white woman,
Hmm.
James Doohan, a white man.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's nothing new. Like,
No.
especially at that point in time.
Still
with
not
animation.
I don't like it.
But
I don't have to like it.
Leonard Nimoy leveraged his contract. He's like, I'm not going to come back unless you bring back George Takei and Nichelle Nichols, because he knew how much they were struggling after Star Trek. And he was like, they're the diversity in the show that celebrates diversity. You need
Hell
to bring
yeah.
them back. And
Good
so
job,
they
Nimoy.
did.
Good job, Nimoy.
So they did. They were able to do that. And because of that, the animation took a significant dive.
It's like those straight to DVD movies where like we're gonna pay this actor like $5 million and that's the budget.
Yeah.
The show for 5 minutes.
It's pretty good. There's actually some pretty solid episodes in it. There's clearly a lot of like, we can really do whatever we want because we're in animation happening, which I kind of enjoyed. I did like the humor, like I said, because some of the episodes are actually just very funny even now. But all in all, like, since I haven't seen all of it, it was really cool to just kind of be like, oh right, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are great characters, and it was nice to see them again in that early Star Trek period, because I watch the movies quite frequently, but I don't really watch the original series a lot. Kind of see like new adventures with those characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, not canon.
Oh.
I watched The Gilded Age. We just finished that today. This is from the creator of Downton Abbey, with Carrie Coon. Really good. I liked it a whole lot. If you're into Downton Abbey, it's not as good. Downton Abbey is special, but it's pretty solid. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of good characters in it. One in particular I really like. I recommend it for like fans of Downton Abbey, which none of you guys are, but maybe you guys watching are.
Maybe.
I told you guys I read Original Sin, right? Last week?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So this week I read Original Sin 10th Realm was also last week, I believe. I read all of the Mighty Thor. So that's the first run after Original Sin. That's Jane as Thor, up until Secret Wars. No interruptions, basically, which is cool to read. Awesome series. I'm really just flipping the pages, really enjoying it. Art's great. I really like how they write Jane, and I envy those who read it when it was coming out, because it is played like you're not supposed to know that it's Jane.
Yeah.
But because I do know, it's a different experience.
That was a particularly fun period of time. I tweeted about this, like, I don't know, maybe when the trailer came out, but I was like, yeah, there was like 6 months where like Jane was, or like Thor was the star of the show and we don't know who it was. And it's really fun because there's so many characters in the book. We specifically thought it was this S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who was getting Agent Solomon. She was getting a lot of prominence in Jason Aaron's Jason Aaron creation. So everyone's like, well, clearly it's this new character that Jason Aaron created, and it was like, getcha. It was like, gotcha.
And Jane's got cancer, so she can't be Thor.
She can't possibly be Thor. She's too weak, and that's the whole thing about it. Good shit, man. Yeah, I doubt I'll read all of it, but I'll definitely read the Jane stuff closer to that movie comes out. And
it's so crazy because like we find out that Jane is Thor, and then the next issue of that book is Secret Wars.
Oops.
Isn't that insane?
Events be like that sometimes.
Because the Secret Wars event is for Thors. Like Jason Aaron wrote Thors, which is what all the Thors are cops on Battleworld.
And all the Jane Fosters are getting murdered around the world.
Yeah. Good. So I stopped there. So I read all the Mighty Thor. I did not read Thor's. So that's going to be next. I decided instead to finish my copy of Loki, Agent of Asgard, which I actually have. So it's this guy. So it's Al Ewing's Loki, Agent of Asgard. This has the original Sin book, the 10th Realm, and I read like up to that in this book. So I just this book ends before Secret Wars. This is the Last Days arc, which was like the end of the world for Secret Wars. A lot of books did that. And so I'm going to read up until then to kind of just finish this book because I really liked it. I really like Al Ewing in general, and I was really enjoying this book. It's kind of a bummer that this was not really the start, but like this kind of is one of those books where Al Ewing has a plan and then it just keeps getting interrupted by various events. Because Axis happens like right after Original Sin. Axis, which was Rick Remender's event coming out of Uncanny Avengers, where all the villains and heroes switch. So like that becomes 3 issues of Loki versus Thor, and I'm like, okay, well, let's. But he still kind of goes through, and then Secret Wars is about to happen, so he's kind of quickly wrapping up. Other than that, though, it's actually a really fun read. The way Al Ewing writes Loki is really cool, and I really enjoy how this mystery of who actually this teenage Loki is, because the implication at the start of the book is that it is kid Loki grown, but then it turns out that it's not. And so like kind of like what the mystery of who this other Loki is was compelling. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm sad that it gets interrupted so much. And I'm almost done with that, and then I'll go back to Thor. And I got 3 more volumes of Thor that I'm so excited to get to, guys. This book is so good.
And you said you weren't going to get through it.
I mean, it might not be before Thor: Love and Thunder, but I'm going to try.
Nah, you got 2 months. You're blowing through it.
Yeah. I hope I continue to blow through it. I don't know why I said it like that. That was really weird.
I thought it was like a thunderous thing, like you're blowing it. I
don't know. Okay, that's gonna be it because I don't want to talk about Halo.
I also don't want to talk about Halo, except the Chief's not a virgin anymore, so all the Halo fans can they got to live with that.
The funny thing about that is that the people who don't know that it's another human think it's an elite. Just like, that's pretty funny.
People, wait, what? I don't even watch the show and I know he didn't bang an elite.
Well, I know, but people were just like, because the thing is, he bangs a Covenant spy. So it was like, an elite?
I feel like he'd be more into brutes, but like that's me projecting,
Yeah, if he was a bottom.
Hey, oh yeah.
Elites are bottoms.
He's into the young guy. Snap him like sheep.
I will say this though: the next episode 9.
What's the Master Chief's favorite booty?
The
Baskin Robbins. You got our 31 flavors.
The Arbiter.
Oh.
Did you just come up with that?
Yes.
Beautiful. I love it. The trailer for the next episode has what looks like a really cool battle sequence that I might check out just for the battle. But look, I don't care that he had sex. They fundamentally ruined the show by not getting the relationship between Cortana and Master Chief right. And it's just, for me, it is not going to work.
No, that's for season 2.
Cortana watched him have sex because she's implanted into his head.
Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah, well, that's how you grow up. That's how you watch your parents have sex once, and you're like, Daddy, is that how you do it?
But that's weird, right? You get how that's weird, right?
No, I absolutely.
I was talking to Cookie about it. This didn't end up getting recorded, but I kind of wish it had, because I excitedly yell, Halo is the Dragon Ball evolution of video game adaptations.
No, because you're at least getting some enjoyment out of it. Dragon Ball Evolution is not good.
I mean, I'm sure if I get drunk, I can enjoy Dragon Ball Evolution.
There's a so bad it's good to Dragon Ball Evolution.
No, but it's like, for everything I'm hearing from Halo, like, it's not Dragon Ball Evolution. No,
it's
way.
not. You're right.
Many things are.
You're right. It's not that good. All right.
There you go.
How can Paramount knock it out of the park with one property, Sonic the Hedgehog, and totally drop the ball with Halo?
Ben, I don't want to. Sonic's not as complex and has as deep as like the Halo lore is. No offense.
And you know what?
It's a lot more easy and fun than trying to do a mature adult storytelling than like a fun small character. I think it's this. I think it's the fact.
And to be fair, I would personally argue that they did a little bit shit the bed on Sonic the Hedgehog the first time around. Personally, them like kind of screwing around with the lore in a way they shouldn't have and not getting the character quite right. They just happened to nail it okay enough to do it correctly the second time.
And we had to yell a lot to get him to change what he looked like. Remember that part?
The thing is, the people who worked on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 specifically love Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm,
right. Mm-hmm. The people who are working on Halo have not played the games.
Yeah.
and they have bragged about that. So I'm saying, like,
It's the silver timeline.
yeah.
I hope Master Chief has a baby and they put a helmet on the baby.
I just Cortana and Master Chief are the relationship between that they're the heart, they're the foundational heart of Halo, and you screwed that up already because you put Cortana inside of Master Chief's brain, and she can shut him down, which means it is a relationship built on distrust.
Oh, she's like,
she's a failsafe for him.
Oh, that's weird.
If he's getting too mad, she turns him off.
He's like RoboCop.
And I'm just like, you've ruined this.
I need a weapon.
I'm sorry. Wait. Is that just like the threat exists that they know that that's what she can do, or does he actually get mad about something and she shuts him down?
They've done it 4 times.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's
and then he tries to kill Halsey, so that she can be, because she's loyal to Halsey, not Chief. He tries to kill Halsey, and because he's just like, you captured me as a baby, and it's like, and if he gets shut down, Halsey dies. So Cortana is trying to reason with him to try to let her out, and he's just like, I'm just testing what you can and can't do. I'm just like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch this show.
Oh, boy.
I just thought of something really bad. Okay,
what?
Bad. No,
he can he masturbates.
No,
I'm kidding.
No, the suit doesn't jack him off, so he has to masturbate.
No, I was gonna say he's about to get busy with another lady. She goes, nah, limp dick for you tonight.
Oh God. And the thing is, if you're gonna do, you can't make it. Who wants to go into our bread and butter?
It's you're the person who does. You got to make the transition happen.
Were you eating soup?
Oatmeal. That's how I eat oatmeal.
That's how you eat oatmeal.
I don't eat oatmeal.
I'll be real with you guys. I thought I had already pressed the button.
It's okay.
And that was just like, we're into bread and butter. No, we're not.
Welcome to the dinner time.
Okay, guys, we got some sad news up top.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Ward passed away this week at the age of 79. Sparks and Ryan, you definitely know him from
Tremors. Wait, what'd you say?
The other guy's Twin Peaks. This guy's Tremors.
Yeah.
Then I know this guy too.
I was gonna say you should know this guy. Then.
I've seen Tremors.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a great character actor. He had he was very much always a straight man in a lot of things. He was in either Road Trip or Euro Trip. He's in one of the movies from the 90s or 2000s where he plays like the dad of one of those characters. He played a lot of those roles. That's a shame. He was a great character actor.
Yeah, really, really liked anything. Anytime I ever saw him, it didn't really matter who he was playing. He was always kind of had a warm presence. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
In a lot of the things that he appeared in.
A lot of dad energy.
I liked the actor. I thought he was cool whenever he showed up.
Yeah. 79 though, that's not bad.
Oh yeah. The 90s John Barenthal.
Kenneth Welsh. That's the Twin Peaks guy.
That is so accurate, Ryan. Holy shit.
The second I saw a clip on Twitter of Tremors, and I'm like, look at this guy who's just John Barenthal. Look at this guy. I love it. Yes, Kenneth Welsh. I know him mostly as Sparks. I don't know if you know him from anything else as well, but from Twin Peaks, he's the villain in season 2 of Twin Peaks. Wyndham Earle. He is the coach of our boy Dale Cooper. Really, also another really great character actor. I just looked it up because I was like, have I seen him in anything else? He was in a 2016 sci-fi movie called The Void, which he was very, very spooky in. Now that I remember. How did he have an age on him by any chance?
80.
79 and 80.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Okay.
Before we move on, Mags in the chat talking about, I want to say Fred Ward, the first one.
Yes.
Fred Ward with Tremors and Naked Gun 3.
Oh, Naked Gun. Yeah, you're right.
And he goes on to say Road Trip, Alcatraz, and The Right Stuff.
It was Road Trip. Yeah, okay, I was right.
Man, Alcatraz. Good pull.
Alcatraz.
The TV show with Sam Neill?
Alcatraz.
Yeah.
It's a TV show. Yeah, okay.
I was really into Sam Neill's TV output after The Triangle, and then I rewatched The Triangle.
Never forget Merlin.
I like Merlin.
I'm saying Merlin's incredible.
Yeah.
The sequel, no.
Don't go see Merlin's Apprentice. It's very bad.
The sequel. That's a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So a lot of TV shows were canceled this week. This is in the wake of the Discovery
Network
deal.
television is dead.
Network television has taken a hit.
Superheroes are dead.
So here's what was canceled this week. Over on Hulu, it was just MODOK, although we kind of figured that would happen.
Yeah.
On the CW, it was Legacies, 4400, Roswell, New Mexico, Charmed, Naomi, Dynasty, In the Dark. I already said Roswell, New Mexico. Yeah.
That's two. That's more than one hand of shows.
And that was this week. I mean, like, we already talked about that Batwoman and Legends were earlier on. Did you guys hear about why Batwoman and Legends were canceled?
Yeah.
Specifically those two?
Yes, this is some like Swamp Thing shit, dude. This is literally
Some
Swamp Thing shit.
Professor, can you please educate me on why these shows were canceled?
Yeah, so the main reason is because the lease for the space where their sets are in the warehouse in Canada was up, and they decided that they didn't want to pay to renew for the years that they would need for a new lease. That's the core reason that those shows got canceled. They just didn't want to renew for the space.
Yeah.
It's not like they could figure out an alternative. It would have been too much work to do that, so they just canceled the shows.
This is just for Batwoman and Batwoman
and Legends. Batwoman and Legends specifically.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Their warehouses were up for lease renewal, and WB said no. Now, also, there are other factors. The Discovery merger is a factor to all of this. For the CW and any Warner shows.
But if they cared about these shows,
but that detail came out, and I was like, God damn, that's so stupid.
So the reason that is some bullshit.
It is. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're canceling these shows that people really do like, only because we don't want to pay a little bit.
Not
extra.
only, but one of them.
Well,
it
sounds like the biggest one is because they don't want to pay for a lease. And I assume the landlord maybe upped the rent a little bit, probably because of the.
It's got to be like, because they said like they have to probably get it for like an extended period of time. Like you're not going to rent it for 6 months, right? Like if you're trying to like build big ass sets.
Yeah,
for, like,
if you're renewing the lease, it's usually a multi-year renewal.
And it's like these shows will not last that long potentially. So like,
and outside of Naomi, these are shows that had the other shows that they're talking about this week all had. They were going for a while. Like they're on their 4th, 5th seasons each one,
right? Right,
and then they're all gone.
I mean, shit. You could even with
Naomi didn't look very good. So sorry, Naomi.
Yeah,
I mean, Naomi clearly was not given the budget it needed.
No.
All right, because I've been out of the CW loop for a very long time. Did Naomi actually start? Is it over? Okay. So
came and went with not even a whimper. Got it.
Yeah.
We talked about it once when I told you I'd watch the pilot.
Take heart in the fact that Superman and Lois might be saved because it is also an HBO production.
Thank the Lord.
I'm pretty sure they've said Superman and Lois for now is safe. That it will.
I know, but
it will come back.
It's in Flash. That's it in the Arrowverse now.
Yep. That's it.
Wow.
And they're still, the crazy thing is, as far as we know, they're still going through with Gotham Knights.
They are going through with Gotham Knights.
That's the thing that blows my mind.
Probably not Justice U or whatever that show was called.
They haven't said anything yet. I figured they would have said it in all of this nonsense, right? Maybe that one's too far along and it's a season 1 thing. Like
they haven't. The last thing I heard is that they were going to look at the pilot to see if they'll pick it up. That's the last thing I heard.
And let's be fair. Like Superman and Lois is keeping the Arrowverse alive technically and mostly in spirit. Like it is connected. Characters do show up, but like
Flash is on.
It's
life
about as
support.
ostracized as you can get.
Flash is just on life support.
It's a bummer that like obviously everything has to come to an end eventually, but like it's a bummer that like they couldn't go out on like an event or something, like just things just get canceled midway, just like that.
I think that like it'll be interesting to look back if we truly are at like kind of the beginning of the end for the Arrowverse specifically.
Absolutely feels like it.
I think the combination of the timing of Crisis on Infinite Earths and what it did, followed by the pandemic, kind of shot them right in the foot, because the whole point was that they were trying to go towards stories where they could interweave more. They were going to do like small, intimate crossovers frequently throughout the year amongst the shows, because that was the whole point of bringing them all onto the same Earth, and that was going to be like a big driving force of the narrative.
Yeah.
And the pandemic happened, and then that became impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pandemic. Yeah, that really did everything. Everything.
I do think that there's a world though where they like do that like final TV movie or whatever.
Something, to put a pin in it, because it can't just end like this. Like, it's been going on for so long. Like, you got to do something.
And it's really influential. It did a lot of normalizing for comic books, for comic book media.
Yeah.
Over on CBS, more cancellations, guys. We're running done.
Hot dog.
Over on CBS was Be Positive, Good Sam, How We Roll, Magnum PI, and United States of AI. I don't think any of these shows we were watching.
I've heard of Magnum PI. That's because I heard of old Magnum PI.
Yeah, the new one, my parents loved it. NBC is losing The End Game, which was a new show with Serenity's Miranda Baccarin.
Oh, okay.
Keenan, which is the Keenan Thompson show.
Oh, Keenan he didn't even last that long. Keenan.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe he was in his second season.
Oh, Keenan.
And a show I was watching, Mr. Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Mr. Mayor. I'm kind of bummed that it's going to end, especially where it's seeming like it's ending.
I love anything with
Ted Danson
in it. That was one I wanted to watch at some point, but I probably still will someday. But yeah.
I just caught up. I had 2 episodes left for me.
I think we're very clearly hitting the age, like again, like the CW stuff. There's certainly like the Discovery stuff at play, but the fact that this happened across CBS and NBC in such a wide swath as well.
There's one more, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Fox is losing Our Kind of People and pivoting. So,
yeah. I think we're at the beginning of streaming really affecting what happens on network television.
Yeah, these shorter seasons. Someone was mentioning the shorter seasons, how they do them, the bulk filming, because oftentimes normal TV shows, it's you film 13 and then while you're airing, you film the last 9, and that's how you get your seasoning. Your season. You can make the changes in the back 9 that you are hearing, and you can make promotions to like writers' assistants become writer staff, like and things like that. Now that you've completely, what feels like we're losing that altogether, finally, you've kind of lost that pipeline. You've lost the way for writers' assistants to become writers, and like that was the easy way to get into the industry like that. And now you don't have that.
Right.
I gotta pull up Mike's comment real quick. It's like Thanos snapped these shows.
Okay.
For real, yeah.
It's a good point, and like I saw that too, Brandon. I value that was getting brought up, that like a community of how writers work, because like clearly people are talking about like the push towards more limited series, more 13 episode seasons, that kind of thing, much like what streaming is usually doing. And they're like, that's like limited series can be cool, but the problem is that like you don't get that writer pipeline you're talking about and everything. And I'm like, I feel for you, like that having those job opportunities and a place to go for that, like that's important to have. And network TV has been that for so long. It's
network TV also supplied stability for paid writers.
Right. Because like it sticks around like that. And like, this is more, I think like the dynamics of just like how writers contracts work, how it's all lined up with the guild, how they get their jobs, how the terms work, all of that is probably just going to have to start to shift, because this is clearly going to be a shift for the future. And the thing is, like, it's hard for me to like champion the old network way when I'm also like, I only watch 4 of the shows at best that we just talked about.
Yeah, I haven't watched traditional TV in over a decade. Everything I've ever watched has been through a streaming service of some kind, or like an app.
Well, it can be through a streaming service, but is it one of these network shows? And the thing is more like that network model, right?
Yeah.
I tend to not really like the network. Like, it's the same thing I've been saying about the Arrowverse shows. Like, why like watching Legends is because Legends is not a full 22 episodes, where I feel like the quality of the show itself it's damaged.
Yeah. And like real quick, Ben, like the reason I also stopped watching TV, like even before that I had as many options, I don't like the way TV was made when I watched it. I hate 22 episode seasons that drag on. Like that's why HBO became such a beacon of like artistic like integrity. It's like, just make what you want however you want. And now like HBO has become the standard for everything. It's like it's just that we just have too much of it. That's a problem. We just have way too much choice.
There is a problem though that you're bringing up, the thing where Netflix now, which was also a place kind of for writers to come and pitch their projects. They want, and then they would have the stability to kind of wait for them to find the audience, and then they would get the renewal, and then they would get the renewal again, and then another. How long did that Ashton Kutcher Western show co-on for that nobody watched, but it was on for like 8 seasons.
The Ranch.
So like now you have the streaming shows being a lot more cutthroat.
Mhm.
So like across the board, like people are losing jobs, and then they're not getting the jobs on the smaller shows.
It is a thing that the industry as a whole is going to have to grapple eventually.
Yeah.
Because like you're right, like we really haven't seen like the hardcore ramifications like this. Like this isn't like this isn't a like it's a lot of shows getting canceled, but it's not the end of the world. Right? We haven't hit that like the bubble pops, but this is the first sign of like we just got like 15 shows canceled at once. That's insane. So like as someone who again doesn't watch normal TV, like this doesn't really affect me because I don't watch any of those shows. So
yeah, I was gonna say like I'm not like like Spock like Sparks like Sparks and Ryan, like I'm with you guys. It's just, you know, for me, like I haven't watched network TV, and when I do, it's like Young Rock on Hulu, and that's a smaller show. Also, it's only like 13 episodes. So like I still gravitate towards that. So like there's that, and then there's also a lot of people just lost their jobs. Sorry, Ben.
Oh,
go
for
ahead.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to say something real quick because I'm starting to get sleepy. I was gonna get something to drink, so I wanted to. Yeah, sleepy Ben's about to pop up, so I'm gonna get something to not be sleepy. But talking about this, just like Ryan, I also don't watch live TV. The only time I do find myself watching live TV is if I'm at a sports bar watching a sporting event live.
I don't count that as you watching TV.
Other than that, that's the only way I know about these
He
shows.
is physically watching.
No,
TV.
I know.
Or even when I'm at the break room, but even then, it's only just reruns of Two Broke Girls or Friends or whatever they have late on at night.
Two Broke Girls. I remember that show.
Yeah, I went to taping for episode 2 of that show, but seeing all these shows canceled is writing on the wall for all the streaming stuff. Because even when a bunch of these shows did come to streaming, I was like, hell yeah, now I could finally catch up on these shows. But at the same time, I felt the drag. I had been wanting to rewatch Chuck for the longest time. And then I see how many episodes there are of Chuck, and I'm like, no, thank you. Even when I was watching some of the CW shows, I mean, sure, I was watching Arrow because there wasn't anything else for me to watch at the time, but that's because the library was small. But now I'm looking at episodes like shows like Supergirl when it was coming out, and then just all the other shows on the horizon. It's like, do I want to sit through 22 hours of Supergirl, or do I want to sit through 13 hours of Daredevil? I'm sitting through 13 hours of Daredevil, and I'm just gonna I'll just wait, or it just never happens. It just never happens because I'll go for the one that's short, sweet, to the point, or I have to look up a guy that's like, which episodes are filler in this live action TV show. And it's like, well, they're not all technically filler. It's like some of them could be. You only get a little nugget of the big ones at the very end of certain episodes. So, yeah, the writing is on the wall. I mean, it does suck because I do miss the days of coming home from school, watching a specific show at a very specific time with the family, and then talking about it with my friends the very next day. But with streaming and with the way things are nowadays, that just doesn't apply anymore.
And we could still have water cooler discussions, like we still do.
Yeah.
Like that's the internet. It's evolved in different ways.
Well, it's nice that like on the water cooler discussion, it's, you know, it's great that a lot of shows a lot of streaming services have adopted the weekly model, so you get that water cooler moment.
Yeah. Thankfully, people have learned, because like there was like, again, those couple years where Netflix was like everything comes out all at once and that's all we're doing. We're binging everything. Thankfully, we're getting away from that.
Yeah, all good. Like, I mean, it sucks that a lot of people are losing these shows. It sucks that we're losing a lot of those jobs.
Yeah.
But there is a good side to it, which is that like, hopefully streaming services get better because they gotta stop canceling the shows.
Change has happened on both sides.
I think more importantly, what I'm hoping for is that the writers unions and such will start to see like you are going to have to talk about different types of contracts.
Yeah,
things are going to change. Like the 22 episode model is dying. You're going to have to talk about ways to change to like function in your job in the industry, how it's going to work now.
It's going
to change. It's not going backwards.
Yeah, I love this discussion. I wish we should have an actual topic about this one day. The last thing I'll say is, as long as syndication is still 100 episodes, I don't think the 22 episode model is going away anytime soon, which is super unfortunate because I think anything getting stretched out is always going to be a detriment to your story. Always, no matter what. Almost.
Yeah, definitely. And also, real quick, Marty's in the chat saying Chuck is fan-freaking-tastic. Yes, it is.
I want to touch on what Spark said real quickly before we get off this topic. The thing that the contracts are going to need to change, and that's absolutely correct, because one, streaming service does not give them the same stability anymore, and two, you lose that pipeline. You don't get paid enough. You don't get paid enough to do these streaming shows because they underpay because of smaller episode count. The 22 episodes ranked in a lot of bucks. So you're definitely going to have to make those new contracts, as Sparks is talking about, because you need these writers who are now going to find it very much more difficult to make a living will now need to in a place that is not welcoming for it.
Right, because as Ryan brought up, like, the goals are changing. Syndication is no longer going to be the goal. The goal will be like just social media success and being something that people rewatch on a streaming service. That's going to be the new goals. And as long as that's the new goals, the thing that they'll take in the cost of eating away syndication is if they can take advantage of the fact that people don't have the contracts that require them to pay them what they're due.
Yeah.
Right. BRB, wake me up.
Go. The CW has picked up, however, on the flip side of this, the CW has picked up Walker Independence, which is the 1800s set spin-off series for Walker, which is
stop it. No, they didn't.
Which is the Jared Padalecki reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger.
This isn't a goof.
No, I'm dead serious. This is real.
This is why TV needs to die.
They were like 1883 did it with Yellowstone. Let's do it with Walker.
That's there's an entire group of Americans who watch all those shows that I don't. Walker is one that's getting a spinoff. Come on.
Then the Winchesters, which got picked up, which is the John and Mary Winchester spinoff that's narrated by Jensen Ackles. And Gotham Knights got picked up. Officially.
The Supernatural spinoff, that makes sense. I get that. Big popular thing. I get that.
I was surprised because this was like their 5th attempt to get a Supernatural spinoff show.
Yeah.
That actually finally stuck.
Yeah. It's because Jensen Ackles is attached to this one.
No, because Jensen was going to be like lightly attached. Like they were always like on some level going to interweave into the other spinoffs. Like it's wild.
That Gotham Knights description's real bad. It just sounds like, now I know the name of it is. It sounds like a bad version of the Descendants, which is the kids of the supervillains in Disney. It just sounds like that show. It's the kids of supervillains dealing with Batman's kids. And I'm like, okay.
Batman. So it's not Damian Wayne, but it is an adopted son that's completely original to the show.
Stupid.
This
is some Mortal Kombat making an original character bullshit.
Yeah, and he teams up with other. I don't know. It's not part of the Arrowverse, so I don't know why they did this. But good luck.
Yeah, watch it be incredible.
That's fair. Superman and Lois is.
I want it.
And then Ryan.
Hey,
Ryan.
Hey, it's me.
Alan Wake is getting a TV series at AMC.
Really? I did not hear this. For real?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Is there anyone?
Oh, I didn't know you missed this. Man.
No, I did. No, I've been actually news free this week, basically.
Alan Wake TV series AMC.
Holy shit, that's awesome. I mean, that is one of those, like, why do you make Uncharted into a movie? It's already super narrative. But like the thing is, like, Alan Wake is super, super weird and like very. I gotta say David Lynchian because it's like inspired by Twin Peaks and shit. Like it's like the most Twin Peaks ever made. Like there's a fake show in there that's it's a fake drama that's what's happening in the game. There's a log lady. Like, oh shit. Oh, it's probably gonna be bad though. Oh no. I need more.
I don't know. It's AMC. It could go either way.
Yeah, I need deets though.
There are no other details. They were on the live stream that they were like, yeah, AMC partnered with us to do a TV show. So.
Oh, so Remedy themselves. Okay, so if Remedy themselves said it, then they probably have faith in it. Okay, cool. Okay, all right.
I couldn't remember the name of the company, so I was. Yeah.
No, yeah. That's awesome news. I love it. They're making another Alan Wake. They're making like another Control. They just got the license back for Mad Max, so they themselves are remaking Mad Max. They're like the height of the Max Payne. Sorry, what did I say?
Mad Max.
That would be also sick.
Max Payne.
Max Payne. Thank you guys for knowing what I was talking about.
Did you guys play that Mad Max video game?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's actually awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Some casting news, actually quite a bit. Fast X. One of the reasons what we heard about Justin Lin's departure, one of the problems was that one of the villains hasn't been cast yet, and they were starting filming. Well, I guess they cast him. Alan Ritchson, Jack Reacher's own.
Titans.
Love this guy.
I'm so happy for him.
One of the best parts of a not so great superhero show.
Yep.
Apparently, he's really killing it on Jack Reacher. So
Yeah,
I believe it. He's a very talented actor.
Yeah, like this is, and I've talked to you guys before about this guy, like how he got so he was one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the Michael Bay movies, and his career like he got really screwed up because of that movie. And it's so good that this guy is like not only getting successful and like he's such a star. He's going to be in the Fast and the Furious movies as a villain. Like, I'm so happy for him. I love him.
he was great as Aquaman. Anyway.
I think he'll be.
Yeah,
I think he'll be,
sure, yeah.
I think he'll be awesome in this.
Yeah.
And he's like huge and ripped. Like he's going to be a good guy to fight with. Yeah.
Is he also related to Paul Walker somehow, or Vin Diesel?
He's his evil cousin.
Is he Vin Diesel's long lost brother?
No,
we
already had.
I bet he's Charlize's brother.
Ooh, Clea. Anyway,
Spoilers.
The whatever MonsterVerse movie coming out next that Adam Wingard is attached to has cast its first lead in Dan Stevens returning from the box, the gift,
the guest.
The guest.
the guest.
So Dan Stevens is great.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say some of those Godzilla movies don't have good characters.
Hey,
Riddle me this.
Y'all just saw The Northman. Alexander Skarsgård's great. Wouldn't say it's a great character in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, no, that's literally what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm agreeing with you. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he's gonna look great.
I hope that what's happening is that Adam Wingard wants to kind of beef up the people versions, because this isn't Godzilla vs. Kong 2. This is going to be one of the other monster. So like you don't have the expectations of just trimming the fat and just doing the fights. Like you do want to try again. I think Adam Wingard is like cognizant of the fact that he wants to do that. He doesn't have it. He's like writing this on his own, unlike the last one.
Okay. I'm just happy overall. I'm just happy that it's happening. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Actually,
I am also very happy, and I'm glad Dan Stevens is in it. We'll see.
Between that, the Powerhouse anime going to Netflix about Skull Island, and the Monarch Godzilla TV show, hell yeah!
A lot of Godzilla content.
Three more projects in the MonsterVerse. That's 3 more than we thought we might get after Godzilla vs. Kong was leading up.
100%.
Not after it was released, but like when we were in the lead up, we were like, "This is probably the end."
Yeah. Dune Part 2.
Oh my god!
Cast Emperor Shaddam the Fourth.
Yeah, shit on my guy.
Christopher Walken.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my god. Y'all, this news broke my brain because first of all, Christopher Walken is like a national icon, but he doesn't do dramatic stuff as often as he used to. He is mostly, not to be mean, he's kind of like jokey. He's very jokey now. He's very fun. He's really leaned into, kind of like Jeff Goldblum leans into who he is. So him being cast in a
just to say, like, Severance apparently is worth.
Is he in Severance?
Yes.
Oh well, I didn't know that. He's like, okay.
He and John Turturro have a dramatic thing. Apparently.
Beautiful. That's awesome. That's fantastic. It's just such an unexpected casting, and it's not even like the biggest role. But this reminded me of, you said John Turturro. This gave me like John Turturro in The Batman as Falcone, like an unexpected role from an actor. Like, oh, yes. I wouldn't expect this from you. So like he's gonna be like, I can't even imagine it.
Judging by the caliber of actor that these movies have attracted so far, Christopher Walken is an out of left field choice.
That's what I mean. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because like you would never really think that a drama, specifically a drama, would star Oscar Isaac and Christopher Walken.
A space drama. Oh my god, it's gonna be so juicy. And his daughter is gonna be Florence Pugh. Yep. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. The movie's filming this year. I can't believe it.
I'm trying so hard to. I'm just gonna do it. The spies.
Yes.
We need it. It's essential to travel in space because I got a fever for more space cowbell.
Have you guys seen Joe Dirt?
I have.
That's okay. I'm gonna say it anyway, real quick. He says in there like, "You got me all wrong. I'm gonna stab you in the face with a soldering iron," and I replace it with, "I'm gonna stab you in the face with a gom jabbar."
Okay,
right. He was in that movie for a hot second.
Sparks the After Party season 2 apparently was not done casting because John Cho and Ken Jeong have joined.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very
Apple?
interested.
Apple
TV Plus.
Apple TV.
The After Party is great. I like John Cho a lot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Is he the murderer? Do we start guessing now?
Wait. No, way too early. Come on.
I want to get in on it quick. I want to get on the ground floor.
Give me those scripts.
You gotta meet the characters.
And then the Teen Wolf movie. Tyler Hoechlin finally said he is returning.
Yes.
I'm happy for you, Sparks, because I know you wanted him back.
I did. I mean, like, yes, I think it's great. He is one of the main pillars, I think, of why that show is good. So is Dylan O'Brien, but I respect O'Brien's decision to not return. But I'm glad that Hoechlin wanted to.
Is Dylan O'Brien too big now?
No, he just said he gave a statement that I thought was very fair, where he was like, I did everything that I felt I should do with that character.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Cool. Okay.
He was like, I don't think that there is anything more of value to do with that character.
Yeah.
I do respect that.
He's like, he said, like, no disrespect to the folks returning or anything. Like, I don't think, not just as an actor, but like for the character itself, I don't think there's anything more to wring out of him.
He is the internet's fan cast for Nightwing, and I'm behind it. I like Dylan O'Brien. I like
him a lot. I think it's totally fair that he feels the way he does about like not wanting to be fair. There are a few characters who are returning who I'm like, I kind of don't know why you would, other than like just the nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
Why you would be bringing them back, but I'm sure they have a story in mind.
Speaking of actors returning, Scream 6.
Oh my god!
We won.
You guys already know. Hayden Panettiere. Hayden
Ryan
Panettiere
and
is
I were
returning.
Freaking out.
Kirby, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Kirby, Hayden Panettiere, long suspected by the fan base to have survived Scream 4. And then there was a little newspaper thing in Scream 5 that implied that she was alive. We're getting her back. Oh baby, I'm so excited.
She was my favorite part of Scream 4.
She's so good.
I don't know if like it was rumored or it was confirmed, but they said what like the synopsis of the movie, like a short synopsis of the movie is, and it's they're leaving Woodsboro. That is the plot, and they're putting it all behind them. So this is the first time that it's going to be outside of Woodsboro, which is awesome. Like, what are they going to do?
Well, it's not the first time.
Well, I mean, like I think they're like leaving though, like leaving. Like,
no, I get like 2 and 3 were not in Woodsboro.
Oh, my memory's terrible. Then never mind.
2 is where Sydney's at college, and 3 is in LA.
Oh, it just sorry, the set is from
because
they're using the same house.
Because they're using the house in 3 as the set.
You're right. It's been
as the Stab movie.
Yes. But yes, it's cool that they're going to be leaving. I'm so stoked for Kirby to be there. Oh my god.
I'm really excited to see her again.
It makes me worry that she's gonna.
I mean, that may be, but like, I'd rather get her back and lose her again than like not get her back at all.
Absolutely.
And we already know that Courtney Cox is returning as well. Sydney's actor is Neve Campbell. She said she wasn't coming back.
Did she say that?
Well, she hasn't been announced, but she said
she did say something. I don't remember the exact quote either.
Isn't it like if they kill her, like if they kill her, she's not going to come back?
That was different than her saying that. Yeah, she said that like you can't kill Sid at this point. Yeah. So like if that was the plan, she wouldn't be in it. She wouldn't take part in that. But like I don't think that's her saying like she's not in it.
Right. But she hasn't been.
I don't know. It could go either way. It could go either way at this point.
It's so crazy because like that movie came out in January and they're about to start filming the sequel. Like they either already had that sequel in mind or there's like they were so hot off of making it. They're like, we got to get we have such a good idea immediately.
It wouldn't surprise me if like they were developing another idea while they were doing it.
Yeah, like it was such a good idea. Like, oh, we need to continue.
I can't wait for Ben to have to watch all these movies later.
It's all
we talked about doing that in Halloween, I think.
Hell yeah, it's coming up.
But yeah, I'm super stoked. I loved Scream 5 Cream, so I'm excited to see 6 Cream.
The 6 doesn't work as easy.
I just need to watch this movie, so now every time I see a ghost face, I'm like, oh, I know what that is. Instead of
bringing back Kirby is one of the best moves they could make, honestly.
Speaking about one of the best moves ever made, I hope this works. Doctor Who announced today that David Tennant and Catherine Tate will be returning as the Doctor and Donna Noble
For the anniversary thingy.
for the 60th anniversary.
That's awesome. Russell T Davies loves those guys. Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see it because Donna is my favorite companion, and in the 50th they brought back Billy and not Donna,
Right.
so now they can bring back Donna.
Dr. Donna.
I like that he's saying, is it because Davies posted about it and he's like, is it a flashback? Is it a side story you didn't know about before? Is it a reunion? Who knows? And I'm like, cool, okay, like it could be anything.
He's clearly having a good time bringing these back. I
would be fascinated if it's like them in the middle of their season.
Oh yeah, that'd be wild.
Well, isn't it? Because it's been way too long since I watched that. But like, doesn't she like become a doctor or something at the end?
Yeah,
she
has to forget everything.
And her memory gets wiped. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be like.
Well, he even says like, if she remembers, she'll die, right? What is this? What's happening? And I'm like, you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really stoked. I love the 10th Doctor. He's my second favorite.
I think this is awesome specifically because this is gonna have Jodie in it. Yes.
Whittaker?
No, she's pregnant right now, so she might not be able to do it.
Oh no.
I'm certain she's in at least a portion of it.
I'm sure. I mean, she's got to be, but like,
what I was gonna say is like because Jodie Whittaker and David Tennant want to play with each other so bad as the Doctors that's why they both came and voiced the recent video game that came out, Edge of Reality.
Yes,
which came out in like the past year or so. They both want to play with each other so bad as the Doctors because they have a good relationship with each other ever since being in Broadchurch together. And so like it would not shock me at all that we're going to get at least a scene with those two together.
Yeah, I hope so. It's unclear who else is coming back, but I gotta imagine like at least most of the new guys are coming back.
Do you think we see Eki?
Is it finally time to get Eccleston? Maybe.
Do we see Eki? Does Eki finally show up?
I hope so.
That beef is squashed, baby. Come on.
Hey, he's doing those audio shows.
Yeah.
He's happy about Doctor Who right now. Davies is there.
I was
The beef
gonna
squash
say,
Could be.
if I had to guess for sure, comebacks for this anniversary was going to be Tennant, but now I kind of hope for Eccleston. Just
I think
he's the only one I've watched.
Well, I think you can get. I think realistically, you'll probably make everybody happy if you get Eccleston to 14. Gatwa. If you get Eccleston, Tennant,
The modern era.
Smith.
the modern era, Smith, Capaldi, Whittaker, if all of them showed up in the special, that'd be really cool.
Bet my bottom dollar Capaldi's back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's so happy about the new guy. Like bet my bottom dollar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's Scottish. Like I didn't know the new guy was also like Scottish. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just really stoked for what we could be seeing for the 60th anniversary. I'm definitely gonna check it out again because of Davies, and coming back with like a really cool celebration of like my Doctor Who would be really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see David Tennant.
It's nice.
I hope we get one more point. I hope we get some of the classic ones, like some new actors playing the classic Doctors.
Yeah.
Except for Seven, he's okay. He's still alive. You can play. He can play him.
I saw a
And,
video.
5
And
5 and up
four?
or up. No, 4's dead. 4's long.
Oh yeah,
dead.
he did pass away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Get Eric Roberts as the master back from that movie.
You know what? Bring back Paul McGann. You'll make me a very happy boy.
Mm-hmm.
Paul McGann is my favorite.
Who knows?
Is Colin Baker dead?
No, I don't know.
Look it up. I'm pretty sure he's died.
I hope not. Let's see.
So there's just the first 3 are dead. If he's not dead.
Colin Baker is alive.
Wow.
You mean Tom Baker?
78.
Oh, Tom Baker.
It's Tom Baker is the 4th Doctor, and
Tom Baker is 6.
He is alive.
Okay. So
Tom Baker is 4.
Tom Baker is also alive.
Tom Baker is 4.
Both the Bakers are alive.
Yes.
Okay, so you got 4 and up who are all alive.
Look at
Bring them
that.
all back.
Royal
I thought
flush.
so. Well, because I was gonna say they should just bring Tom Baker back the same way they brought him in the 50th. He should just be the curator.
As the
still.
curator.
Oh yeah,
That was cool.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things because like it implied that he was still the Doctor. Like he was just a future generation of the Doctor.
Yes.
That just decided to put on that face again.
Yes.
It's really nice that like, because like I know people have enjoyed Doctor Who even now, but like with Russell T Davies coming back and getting a new Doctor and this anniversary all happening on the same time, there's like a buzz that Doctor Who hasn't had in a while, at least like online.
Yes.
It's like people are jonesing for Doctor Who. Like it's nice.
I'm ready to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, baby. I'm gonna catch up and I'm gonna see it all.
I want
David Bradley as the first Doctor again, please.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just have him and
Filch.
4 through 8 in the gallery where the curator was, and they're all just like having a conversation that the rest of them stumble into.
You could have John Pertwee's kid play his dad. He looks enough like him.
That's true.
There you go.
All right. Comic books.
I used to read those.
Did you used to read Spider-Verse?
I love Spider-Verse, actually.
It's coming
yeah.
back.
Well, it's come back several times. It's coming
Everything
back
happens again and
Sure.
again.
Edge of Spider-Verse is
it's
returning.
another one.
So it's going to be 5-issue miniseries. Sorry, written by Dan Slott and various others. They didn't have a full list. It's going to be a new anthology. It's going to introduce various new spiders, as well as feature Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man Noir. Like they're popular, so they'll be there.
Yep.
Of the new Spider-Men introduced in this anthology are Night Spider, which is Felicia Hardy, who was bitten by a spider.
All right, cool.
The Hunter Spider, which is Sergei Craven, bitten by a
Some
spider.
of these designs are sick as hell. They look really cool.
And Spider Laird, it's kind of like a samurai-inspired one.
Mm-hmm.
Scottish. He's the first kilt-wearing hero, who is designed by Martin Coccolo. Sorry, Mark Bagley and Chris Anka are the ones who designed the first two.
Oh yeah.
So each one is designed by a different artist.
I'll read these when they come to Marvel Unlimited because I only got to wait 3 months now, thanks to Marvel Unlimited's beautiful 3-month desire. But like Spider-Verse is obviously very popular. It's always cool making new characters. You know, it's about time Felicia Hardy became Spider-Man. Everyone else has.
Spider-Rex is another one I forgot to mention, which is probably Devil Dinosaur bitten by the spider.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is going to lead into an event later in 2022 called The End of the Spider-Verse.
Ooh.
So they're joking about how it's like even Dan Slott is like, nothing ends in comics except for this. This will end. We're gonna end this.
We're definitely ending the Spider-Verse before the new movie comes out. Definitely. It's definitely not going to lead into a new, different type of multiverse like Secret Wars ended. It's not like that's going to happen at all. Definitely not.
And then speaking of Spider-Man, though, Amazing Fantasy number 1000 is coming up.
Wow.
It's going to feature the talents of Neil Gaiman, Armando Lanucci, this is his debut, Jonathan Hickman, Dan Slott, Ho Chi Anderson, Kurt Busiek, Anthony Falcone, Rainbow Rowell, and more, with art by Jim Chung, Olivia Coppel, Michael Cho, Terry Dotson, and more.
Those are all wonderful, wonderful, talented people. I assumed, and a lot of people did it, that because it said something amazing is coming soon, and you list a bunch of names, so everyone thought it was going to be a new Spider-Man anthology because they're making they got a Wolverine one, you got an Elektra one, you got a Daredevil one. You know, everyone's doing it. It's just Amazing 1000, which is cool. That's cool. It's a long time. I hear they cheated how they got there, but I'm not going to yell at them about it.
Yeah, they haven't been continuously publishing Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah, unlike Action Comics and Action Detective.
Well, here's the thing. So they did just relaunch Amazing Fantasy because I bought the number 1. It's by Kari Andrews, and it is like an old school, like cool thing. But it's only like it just launched like last year, so it's not. They launched like 3 issues just so they can get to 1000, basically. So I still think they cheated. I don't allow it. I don't care.
It's kind of like how in Detective Comics' long publishing history, it was not actually published continuously. Briefly, there was a book called Batman and Family, which basically replaced Detective Comics. They canceled Detective Comics, did Batman and Family for about 3 years, and then did not tell anybody, but renamed it to Detective Comics, and then counted those issues back as Detective Comics issues.
That's illegal.
So they even fudged it.
So is Action technically the only one that truly has 1000 issues?
because it's the one that has never been canceled ever,
Hell
and in
yeah.
fact went weekly for a number of years.
Hell yeah, good for you, Superman. You deserve it.
You know what? Still.
All right, trailers.
Oh, Trailer Park.
Gotham. What was that noise?
Oh. It's
Is that a car?
No, it's a rap. It's a rap noise.
Oh, Gotham Knights had a gameplay demo that was about 13 minutes long.
It did. I want to hear what you guys think about this one.
It definitely looks unfinished to me.
So here's the thing. I think the person playing that demo was bad at the game. That's what I think is what's happening, because I don't suspect that technically like the fourth Arkham game is going to have bad combat. I'm convinced that Arkham combat is good. I'm not worried about that being bad. I think the person playing the game was demoing it really, really bad.
Yeah.
Everything else I think looks really fun. The problem is I am seeing a lot of Avengers comparisons. There is gear stuff. It is a party system. It is a single player. I mean, it's not a live service game, right? It is like a thing with a story and stuff.
And they don't have a 4-player co-op. They only have 2-player co-op.
Yeah, so it is going to be like there are going to be missions where you can choose 2 of the 4, and then there's going to be missions specific, like, oh, this is a Nightwing mission to get something for Nightwing or something, right? I am 100% down for an open world multiplayer Batman RPG. That's for me. There's a lot of people that it's not for, and I get it. I know people don't like loot. I love changing my character's look. It's like my favorite thing about Injustice is making 100 different skins for characters, making them all look different. So I am very much into this game. I think the demo is a bad demo because the person playing it wasn't very good. Like, you know, in Batman Combat, when you like leapfrog back and forth between people, and sometimes you can leap like across like entire sections of a map. That's what was happening in this demo. It's like, that's just bad playing. That's just not good performance. I think it's going to be great.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I think it's going to be good.
I mean, it does say in-game footage isn't final, so they're still working on it.
Comes out soon though.
But game like that Arkham gameplay was so smooth, and I did not get that from this.
And now, and we have seen gameplay demos before where it was a lot smoother. I think I think they picked a really bad demo, a section of demo to show. I think they should have like had that person replay it or get someone else, because like it looked bad. Like,
I do agree with you, Ryan. I was kind of bummed when I saw the pack that it's like, it's 2-player only. I was like, but I got my friends, and then to have like a whole squad of different bat son or like sons / daughters of Batman. I was like,
Knights. Knights.
Well,
like different Gotham Knights have been awesome, but at the same time, still having 2 players isn't the worst case scenario here.
Not at all. No, I don't think that wasn't a detriment on my part if it sounded like it.
I said it.
It was more.
I don't mean to take the rap for you, Ryan.
No,
but I
yeah.
said it.
I was thinking it was more of a, that's a bummer. It's not, I'm not saying that, how dare they? I'm not going to buy this game. It was like, that's a bummer, but hey, at least I can still play with a friend of mine.
I think. Sparks, real quick. What do you think about this one?
It's definitely the least hyped I've gotten about the game, as far as like them showing me something and how it's caused a reaction. It's not like, it's a deal breaker. It was just like, I was more excited before I watched this.
See, I agree. And like, I think of the first trailer that they showed, where they showed the Court.Review stuff. They showed like a quick section of Batgirl on the bike, and you go to Mr. Freeze's castle, which is a giant frozen castle, and there's lightning striking everywhere, and it's super cinematic. And that's what I know the game is going to be. This was a bad gameplay demo that I really think they shouldn't have released, because every other instance of this game I've been really excited for. So like, I know I'm good at video games, so like I'm definitely not gonna have a problem that I think maybe this demo's had. Again, like I think of that Nightwing section of the dude just bouncing back and forth. Like, why not just focus on one enemy? This is a weird way to show this combat. Also, Nightwing has a Fortnite glider. That's kind of weird. It's a little weird.
Anything else you want to add, Sparks?
No, I agree with what Ryan's saying. Like, it's very likely that this is just displayed poorly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it necessarily should be taken as representative of the game, but like it's also like, then why'd you release it?
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Westworld Season 4.
Man,
it's
I don't
back,
know what
baby.
to think.
I was trying to remember everything that happened last season. I'm like,
there's 2 people. There's 2 people. I'm like, pretty sure you were dead.
Absolutely, but there are indications in the trailer that it's Rachel Wood's character. She's underwater. It looks like maybe she's being, spoilers for a show you guys haven't watched 4 seasons in. I'm just going to spoil it. It looks like she's being remade. Somebody's remaking her.
Right.
For what reasons? We don't know. We know Maeve is involved. We see her child with the bees coming out of her face. That's definitely her kid. So like, they're going back to the park after we've been gone from the park for a while. So it's going to be interesting why we're going back to the park, how it all leads back into who our new villains are. The man in black is out being murderous or something. It's very interesting. I am incredibly glad this is the direction Westworld took. Instead of it just being like the crazy theme park, like this is the future world. This is future world now. And I really love that because again, it's just big, bold sci-fi. Interesting to see where it goes this season. I'll say that. I'm very excited that it's back though. It's been an entire pandemic. We watched that pre-pandemic. It's taken that long. It's taken like 3 to 4 years to get this new season. It's crazy.
Sparks.
No, I agree. Sorry. No, I agree. I'm slightly bewildered by the trailer only because I'm like a little lost in comparison to like what I'm pretty sure I remember of how season 3 wrapped up. And I'm like, okay, don't know what to make of this. I mean, like, I'm not worried about it. The show has answered things before. And while not every answer may have been satisfying overall, I was happy with the show. So
yeah, the thing I do remember from last season is they definitely started bringing in a lot of other characters who were previously dead and then being used in new ways, like either like used by the villain or something else. So like it looks like they're doing a lot of that this season too. And I'm like, I guess if you want to keep actors around, that's cool. Like, and it makes sense because they're all robots, so it's a little more forgiving than like if they were real people.
Right.
Yeah.
I am intrigued. Not intrigued. That's not the right word. Ecstatic that Jeffrey Wright's character is still around, because I was nervous that they were going to kind of take him out. After the last season, that they just like weren't going to use him anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Unhuman.
This Unhuman.
This is the zombie one.
Yeah.
This looks like a CW show.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. That's a good point.
There's some things that like I kind of like the energy of it.
Yeah.
I like the energy of it. It's not doing a lot else at the moment that's making me go like, I need to watch this, but it seems like a fun zombie time.
I believe it's a movie, not a show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a movie.
I didn't dislike it, but it definitely just gave me like young adult, like kind of CW vibes. Like it looks okay. It looks okay. It doesn't look terrible.
I appreciate like it feels like one of the rare zombie stories where like they know, like the moment it's happening, they know what's happening. And they're just like, oh, right, we just got to deal with this.
It's very self-aware, it seems like, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm into that.
Yeah.
Sparks, I'm sorry to derail the whole episode for this, but over your shoulder, it looks like you have a candy ball machine. Can you tell me that that's not a candy ball machine?
A candy ball machine? I'm not even sure which thing you'd be referring. Are you
over the shoulder?
Backpack?
Yeah.
It's
it's a
That's
backpack.
a backpack.
It's red.
Yeah, it looks like a candy ball machine.
Oh, you
Yeah,
mean
it's
like
a
the
backpack.
machines where you put a quarter in, you get gum?
Yeah.
Oh, you got too tiny of a screen, my guy.
No, I'm just really not sober. Love, Death, and Robots season 3 also had a trailer.
So I haven't finished the first season of Love, Death, and Robots, but
Same.
but here's
I'm
the
pretty
thing,
sure I'm pretty sure the second season trailer came out and I picked up more of it and I'm like, man, I'm gonna watch this because it's cool. And then I also still didn't finish it.
So and that might happen with a season 3. But let me find the thing that I took a picture of real quick. Did you guys actually watch the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure. It looks stunning. Some of the things in here are truly stunning. I'm like, I forgot that like this is what this thing is. It's like really cool, like hardcore science fiction shorts. Specifically, I'm excited for this one. I'm going to talk about the previous seasons because you guys might be interested. Volume 1 had directors from Kung Fu Panda, and Volume 2 had directors from How to Train Your Dragon. They worked on the second season. So third season, it's David Fincher's animation directorial debut. That's why I'm going to watch this season because he helped make the season. I just think it looks extraordinary. There's one where there's conquistadors and there's like a lady in water, and I thought that was real for a second, and then it's not real. It looks insane. There's a crazy astronaut like hallucinogenic chip that looks cool. There's Joe Manganiello as a soldier fighting Draculas in a cave. I can't wait to watch that one.
Giant crab.
There's a pirate one dealing with crabs, and like the animation is so gorgeous. I'm glad that season 3 is coming out, even if none of us have watched it, because it's like animation like this deserves to be seen, and it's glad it's popular enough that it's getting a season 3.
It's won 11 Emmys.
That's incredible. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna catch up because like it looks astounding. Like this looks gorgeous. Love it.
Anything else?
No,
Sparks?
I can't. Oh yeah.
No, I agree with everything Ryan just said. I think
There's
Ben
one.
was trying to say something.
He said it won 11 Emmys.
Okay.
Oh.
First Kill.
This also
This
reminds
is
me of
the-
a CW show.
This
This
I'm
is the show.
I'm into do Romeo and Juliet again with vampires, except it's ladies falling in love.
My only thing, real quickly, Ryan, is that
Yeah.
I really like the premise of this, like a lot. I think it's a really cool premise. The girls, judging from the trailer alone, don't really have any chemistry.
So I also really like the premise. I'm getting hardcore Twilight vibes from this. Like hardcore Twilight, like the Edward and Bella looking longingly into each other's eyes. And like I think that some of the writing is extremely cheesy, which is fine. It's doing like young adult romance stuff, but like I just got like, you're a monster and I'm supposed to kill you, but I love you. And like that's fine. It wasn't enough for me to want to watch it. That's me.
Yeah.
I want more like I agree, Brandon. Like the premise, I want more stuff like this, but like trailer didn't do it for me.
Yeah, the trailer might be just poorly made. Also, like, I don't think it's probably the strongest trailer I've ever seen. I am curious about it. Premise alone, and Zara's gonna want to watch it, so I'll probably catch it with her. But yeah.
What was it? What is it on?
That's Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
I like
Yeah,
I like when
that's
everything turns red for the vampire.
Yeah, that was cool.
They're doing cool stuff there.
Yeah, there's some interesting vampire stuff that they do in this trailer that I thought was pretty cool.
It is. I do like.
Also, there's a giant demon.
Yeah, I do like the warring clans of like don't put your fangs out at me like the mundanity of like being a vampire and stuff, and like that seems kind of cool.
You got the ice cold mom from Gossip Girl playing the ice cold mom vampire, so.
Doing what she does.
She's also the ice queen. She's also the ice queen in Once Upon a Time.
Oh come on, typecasted. Come on,
right?
Ice Baby.
I think those are two different people.
Oh, can you look it up for me?
Yeah.
While we go to Resident Evil.
Okay, before I say my opinion on this, all of Resident Evil fandom hates this trailer. Like if you are someone who loves the because I looked at a lot of comments on the YouTube thing, and they're like, why can't they just make a Resident Evil thing? I don't get it. Like, can't they just make the games? What did you guys think about the trailer itself, though?
Ben?
I didn't see it.
Oh, Ben.
That's okay.
I actually really dug it. There's two trailers. I don't know if you've watched both trailers.
No, I saw that they were both teasers, so I was fine with
them. They're two different perspectives. So the one is the girls, and it's the kind of their perspective, and the other one is Umbrella's perspective.
Okay.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. They're the same person.
Oh, they are. Okay, cool.
You did it, Brandon.
Woo! So Wesker, Lance Henriksen is playing Wesker, right? So we get a lot more of him in the second teaser.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring up the fan stuff first because this is very much like Halo. This is not the games. This is taking inspiration and like the themes of what Resident Evil is and turning into something brand new. I think this looks awesome.
Existing in the world of the games.
And existing in the world of games, while being simultaneously something new.
because they talked about how the fact that like the games happened in this show.
So what's incredible, first of all, I always love dual narrative stuff. It takes place in 2022 before bad stuff goes down, and then 2036 when shit has gone down. And you see, like in the trailer, it's like spoilers, like these are the same characters. That's really cool. I love Weyland Yutani, evil corporation pretending to be good shit. That is my jam. And that is what Umbrella Corporation is to a T. And the Resident Evil
T-Virus.
T-Virus, there you go. As bad or good as some of those movies are, they get that Umbrella is a really shitty corporation that just wants to do the worst shit for no real good reason. That's what Umbrella is. They're just a bad company.
There's a good line that Wesker has in the second teaser where he says, we have joy. We created this pill Joy that will cure depression and OCD and all. It's like a cure-all drug. What's the catch? It's got the T-Virus in it, and the T-Virus makes monsters. And someone's just like, we should put that on the warning label.
Oh, of course, yeah. As like a joke, as like a haha. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Like, first of all, how do you get the T-Virus into that? How does that even work? I can't wait to watch the show. I love the opening of like it's all great. New Raccoon City. Don't worry about old Raccoon City. What happened to the old Raccoon City? Don't ask questions. Don't worry about it. That's the vibe I'm getting from this trailer, and I love it. Like Raccoon Umbrella's like, we got it good. We got this beautiful community. Everyone's doing yoga together. Perfect community. Don't look in the basement. I love it. I love it. I cannot, and we know what happens because they show the future. Like I can't wait to see that happen. I think it's a great trailer.
We see a lot of the other monsters in Resident Evil, and I think very faithfully done.
Yeah. I can't tell yet if they're fast or slow zombies, because the fast zombies do exist in Resident Evil 2. And it would be a fun change if they wanted to do that to make it a little scarier as opposed to the original games. But they also do have the monsters. They got the liquor, which is like just like, hey, that's the liquor. There you go.
There's a giant, I think it's in the second teaser also, but like there's a giant spider. So it to me, it like really evoked what the game monsters tried to be in the early days. Like we're just making a giant horrible thing, often like a spider. And it felt like very much like that.
Yeah, if you like, obviously there's giant grotesque monsters, but like in those, again, like Brandon, like you said, those early games, it's a giant snake. It's a giant. It's a monster dog. It's a giant. Yeah, there's a shark. There's an evil shark in a laboratory. This is like, again, this probably isn't the show that I would make, but it does feel to the core of Resident Evil of this shitty corporation is going to do anything to be powerful, and if it ruins the world, so be it. And like that's all I could ask for. I love it.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think Wesker as like the lead character is really cool. Because generally, like, Wesker starts as a good guy, then becomes just, like, a supervillain. And I bet we're going to see, like, his slow downfall into, like, how he became, like, he becomes the person who ruins the world. And it's about his daughters. Like, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Sparks. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I like the look of the show. I'm hopeful. We're going to have a lot of Resident Evil stuff that we need to talk about in anticipation.
Ben, you didn't watch it. Okay. The Orville New Horizons, aka The Orville Season 3.
Yeah.
I really like this trailer a whole lot.
It definitely gives me like more, like I only watched like the first half of that first season. But it looks like, man, they're still doing the thing that it's good at, like being Star Trek, but a little funnier.
Yeah. More Orville. All the time, more Orville.
I'm still mad at myself that just like Ryan, I just watched like the half of the first season. I was loving it, and then something else took over, and I just completely dropped it. And every time I get a trailer,
I'm not mad.
I got great news for you, dude.
It's there.
Right there. It's on Hulu.
It's still there.
It didn't go anywhere.
There. I just haven't gotten up and watched it yet. That's the thing.
Ben, do you have an Alexa? Ben, do you have an Alexa?
Yes.
Alexa, turn on the Orville.
She's not there. She's in the other room.
Brandon, I have a confession to make to you about the Orville.
Huh.
I don't think I like the ship designs of like their main things with like the three butts. Yeah, I it's the middle part that it just gets to me. It just gets to me. I don't know why. I wish I liked it. It's a cool design. It's just not for me.
I like it. Obviously, I have the.
Well, I would hope so.
I would not.
Watching this trailer,
Brandon holding the toy of it. I don't really care for it.
It's just like when I see it entering phaser zone, the butt, like I don't know.
Like he's just holding his Eagle Moss Orville figure. Is like, yeah, this design kind of sucks.
Starts eating it.
This show sucks.
Which one's that one? Enterprise?
It's Battlestar Galactica.
Oh no.
No, but I was trying to say earlier is that when I see trailers like this, it reminds me I need to go back and watch the Orville all the way through so I can get ready and hyped for season 3.
I got great news for you.
I know it's there.
I'm kidding.
There.
I'm kidding.
It's just like all the other 20 billion shows I need to watch. Brooklyn Nine-Nine being one of them.
I might go back and rewatch the second season. So I did really like that season, and I forgot some of the threads that we're picking up in this season. What it looks like with the Kalon. Things like that.
I think I got to the second season a little late, so it's a little fresher in my memory.
Yeah.
What is the first lady's name? She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's in the show.
Adrian Palicki.
She looks suspiciously too much like Rebecca Romaine, so it looks like there's two people on like two different shows that look similar. Because I've only seen the trailer for Strange New Worlds, and I see Rebecca Romaine. I'm like, is that Adrian Palicki?
I really like Adrian Palicki and Seth MacFarlane together in that show. They're very good together.
Yeah.
I quite like that show. We get to see their Klingons, the white-faced Klingon guys. I forgot their names.
Yeah.
But we get to see them and kind of the ramifications of their tentative peace after the war in the last season. Yes. That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited.
They had that baby. Those man babies. Those men had babies.
And then we see. I don't know what I'm doing. Yaphet. We get to see some Yaphet. Even the actor passed away this year.
Norm Macdonald's
Norm Macdonald's
character.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's the green slime that's talking in the suit. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, why don't we go into our book club then?
sounds like a plan.
Book it.
In case you were not here at the beginning for our live viewers, in case you forgot, because it's been 2 hours, we're doing the book club before we do the main topic, which will be Unbearable Weight of Massive Talents. We're doing this one. Book clubs. Ben, I went through all of your names. Ben, take it away.
Yeah, so my book club this week, or my turn, is Boom Studios Magic, which is, of course, based off the card game Magic the Gathering. It's written by Jick McKay, illustrated by Iguara, and colored by Ariana Consani. I really hope I said that right. And the reason why I'm showing the back cover is because all my issues are the Hidden Planeswalker variants. This is issue 1, which is the Lord of Innistrad.
Ooh, they call those virgin covers. That's a good cover.
Variant.
They do.
There's nothing virgin about that cover, baby.
No, it's true. No, Ben, if the wordless covers are called virgin covers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't just being gross for no reason.
Okay. Yeah.
I give myself a reason.
Okay. Yeah, I have a bunch of these issues. So the book club is issues 1 through 5. And I haven't read these yet. And I figured, you know what? It's a good way.
Oh, Ben, we got a book club to do. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, because you said you haven't read them yet. I was joking. I'm just joshing you.
You can't do that to him.
I'm sorry.
As I was trying to say, I have not read them up to the point before I picked them for the book club, and this was unfamiliar territory for me. As you guys know, and as 3 of us, actually all 4 of us have, we enjoy playing the game Magic the Gathering. Some of us are probably more in tune to the lore than others. So I figured this might be a fun little jaunt into the world of Magic the Gathering, and I want to know what you guys thought, because I kind of enjoyed it. It's not the best comic ever made, obviously, but it still, for me, was a fun little mystery one.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there. This is the best comic that was ever... No, I'm kidding. For show of hands, who knows anything about the Magic the Gathering lore?
Ben, I'm actually glad you picked this book, because if you remember, when this
Do
book
you really, Sparks?
Yeah, a little.
Okay.
When this book was announced like a year ago, or when the TV show was announced or something, I was like, I want to know more about Magic lore because I love the game. But this is like one of the few card games, you know, Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh. I've seen animes. They have stuff that's out there. Magic doesn't have anything. This is like, they don't have an animated show or a movie or anything. They just have the card game. So getting this lore, well, they have, but I mean, like, things people actually do, Ben. Come on.
People don't read, Ben.
They do have books, yes.
But Brian's right.
No, but you know what I mean.
Not everyone's picking up a book to understand Magic lore. Magic the Gathering was a very popular game when I was a kid. And I did play it. I just don't know anything about it. And so, like, it was very confusing to me because I also played Yu-Gi-Oh, which came from a show. Magic didn't come from anything. So it was kind of this interesting phenomenon that kind of sprung out of nowhere.
I mean, really, magic comes from inside us all, but
it's true.
All right,
so Ben,
Sparks, goodbye.
Ben, I want to talk about this book. Oh, bye, Sparks.
Oh, Sparks is gone.
I'm going to pretend that I saw the movie. Ben, I think I like this book more than you. I love this book. I think this book's incredible. Because anytime I am transported to a new world, whether it's fantasy or sci-fi, I expect there to be lots of nouns, lots of verbs, lots of like everything you got to explain to me because it's all new, right? You know, you got dragons, wizards, you got to explain all that shit to me. I love when a good writer is able to distill exactly what I need to get me the story that needs to be told. Mm-hmm. We are being introduced to planeswalkers, the multiverse, all this shit, the guild, all this stuff. So much stuff. I was not confused. Maybe the first issue. After the first issue, once all the characters are established, once the mission's on, this book reminded me of the prequels so much. so much. The Star Wars prequels. It's about a dark Jedi, and there's like a plot to destroy the Jedi, and you need to send Jedis on a quest to find like the Dark Lord. Like heavy prequel vibes. I really enjoyed the characters. Jed McKay is such a talented writer. I know his work from Marvel mostly. He's done a lot of great Marvel stuff. I just found the world really fun, and when you don't have a limit. Like, because again, this is kind of like its own, like, you can do whatever you want. Magic doesn't have, it's not like it has 100 movies. It just has the cards and maybe the books. You can do whatever you want. I found it really engaging. I found it really fun. I think the art's incredible. I think it's really imaginative. If you're not into like hardcore genre fantasy, I could see it not being for you. But if you are, I think this is an excellent read.
Yeah. One of the things because when I read issue 1, I was kind of bummed that we weren't introduced to any planeswalkers that, like the planeswalkers that we get when it's like when the new yearly packs get released, where like, the planeswalkers are like the main deck for the beginners decks, like Pyra, the White Mane, the Lion Dude, and of course Jace. Jace is in the book, but he's not a prevalent character. And as I was reading our 3 planeswalkers story, I was more invested in theirs. I'm like, yeah, screw the other guys. I want to find out what these 3 are. I love these 3.
I knew who Jace was simply because I knew that I've seen his card before, but that didn't put any more. He's more important than any other character. I didn't give a shit about Jace as much as any other character. Like, all these are fresh new characters to me. It's like a brand new world. So like when he showed up once and like we got a little bit of like, okay, that's all I need from that character. I wasn't expecting anything more from him because he's more important to the lore. Because I don't know that, right?
Mm-hmm. I actually expected him to come back. I know nothing. I didn't even know that was a character from the cards or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the kind of the way he's written off always kind of felt weird to me. Yeah, I was like, I feel like this character was set up to kind of come back for like a triumphant win.
I will say also,
maybe he does late because this is an ongoing. Maybe he does later.
So we did read 5 issues. This doesn't read like a arc. This reads, I think, like this is like one long arc because this doesn't really have a finale to this to this arc.
Speaking as a person who read issues 6 and 7, yes, this just kind of goes on.
Yeah.
So it did not just stop here.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to keep going, but like I ran out of time.
I also want to keep. After I finished reading issue 5, I was like, and seeing the look on that pyromancer's face, I was like, yo, I want to know who this dude is. And I still have a bunch of issues of Magic. I put Magic on my pull and I just kept buying them because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to really enjoy this. And I do. And now I'm like, yo, I want to find out what's going down. I want to see like the shit when it's hitting the fan.
Like the imagination that's happening in this book is like insane. Because like I don't know how much of this again is like it's not all from the cards, like whether it's from the books or not, but like the way they talk about the multiverse and how they travel and the way that they dream and how planeswalkers interact with all of that, and they're able to do it like it's nothing, like it's just like they can just multiversal travel. It's really cool. The way that they deal with like their inner self, like when they're using the Force. I'm gonna try to pull up this page, and you're not gonna be able to see it. It's a gorgeous. Oh, it's not gonna work. It's a gorgeous, a gorgeous. You know what I'm talking about, Sparks? It is a gorgeous splash page of how they all internally concept what the multiverse looks like to them. It all looks different to them. Like every time they do their magic, it looks different. The type of magic that they're using. So like the tech guy, it's all machines. The ghost girl, it's all spirits. The decay, the Medusa lady, it's all like
Unleash
decay.
the storm.
Unleash the storm. Yeah. I think like the imagination on display here, the fire mind, the guild priest who died, reincarnated into a dragon, and now he is like the guild master. That's the coolest shit I've ever seen. I love it. I love this shit.
When I first got the Planeswalker variant and I got the guy from Innistrad, I was like, oh man, I'm definitely gonna get these. And then when I opened up issue 2, which is one of our main ladies,
she's my favorite. I love her, but I love bad bitches. I love it.
She is my absolute favorite. I adore her now. I like the other 2 a lot, but she is like, yo, I like her. She's also a pirate lady.
Yeah, the second I saw that, she's like, oh, she's not just like the goddess of like this decrepit land of all of her bugmen. She's also an ex-pirate lady. Come on.
I don't know who she is, but she's also a badass, and I love her. I don't know who she is, but I want to know who this character is, and I kind of know.
My favorite line, because the Medusa lady has a thing with Jace, right? But with Medusas, you get turned to stone if you look at her eyes too much, right? Gorgons, thank you. Or like she can obviously control it, but so like what is it with you and Jace? And she's like, I can kill with a look, and I often do so. But knowing that, Jace has never been afraid to meet my eyes. not once. Like, that's romance, baby. And there's like this super, super hot drawing of Jace looking back at her, and she's like, oh my. Just really good character stuff.
So one of my favorite scenes happens in issue 4. And it's this one. Where so it's all three of them, where the guildmaster of a house that they accuse, House Demir, which is like the guild of secrets and stabbing and assassinations and all that stuff. The guildmaster goes into their dreams and tells all three of them at the exact same time, it's like, we got wrecked. We're hiding right now.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's gonna go.
I know who it is.
Yeah. So good.
So that guildmaster, the guildmaster of like thieves and assassins, he has such a great line too. He's like, my whole job is to be a deceiver, to be a liar. He is Loki. I am the Lokiest of Loki guys. So imagine then my irritation when I suddenly need to be believed. That is so good. That is a like a page turner of a line. I'm like, Jed McKay, you got it going on. Like, I love this book so much. I'm so glad it's an ongoing. I could pick it up myself.
So one of the things that I know when I love a property or when I'm experiencing, it's like going back to my Final Fantasy concert. When I was at that concert, I got the jonesing to play some Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Reading this, I got the jonesing to play Magic. I want to go out. I want to find some more cards. I want to build some more decks, and I want to get back into playing Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And reading this book, and I'm glad I'm still picking this book up because I want to find out how the story ends. I want to know how this mystery is unsolved. And it's like, this is some, like, you're right. The guy, the Lord of House Demir, the Assassination Guild, and that line you just said, where he's like, I need to be believed, and it sucks. It's like,
I hate it.
That's just such a good line.
It's like a really good character. Go ahead, Brandon. Sorry.
I want Sparks to talk because he hasn't had a chance yet.
Neither of you. Why don't you go?
I've said my piece. I like this book. I really like the art, but it didn't really click with me. That's really all I have to say about it, outside of just kind of like chiming in whenever you guys bring a point. I liked it. I just didn't love it.
It's totally good.
No, I definitely, this is more of a me book. Like, a lot of things I personally connect with. Yeah.
But I really want to.
I had a hard time getting on board with the trio of characters for a little bit. Not like getting on board with isn't like just like connecting, I guess. Like, they just kind of were, for the first issue, they feel very much like just generic to me.
No, I agree with the first issue. Yeah.
It starts to unfold better with the second issue and then going on. Like, the art was always top notch, but like it took a little bit for me to warm to the characters. There's also like just a level of, and you have to, because it's the world, it's how it's set up, but like the distrust between them just creates for some like really like, okay, kind of beats where I'm like, all right, like pretty much shit on everything that any of the others do at any point in time for a while. Understood. And then they kind of get on board with each other, and I'm like, okay, now I'm rolling with you. Now I'm here. And that dynamic couldn't come soon enough for me. But aside from that, like I like there's a lot of cool concepts. The Kaya's world, where she laughs at Vrashka talking about not feeling like the sky will fall on them, and she's like, wow, it's really funny you say that because that's literally what happened in my world.
Yeah.
Some
No, you finish your thought.
No, just like I thought that obviously I read 2 more issues past this, so like obviously I was into it. I wanted to see there is a ending of a sort in issue 7. And then more is left open, but like
Studios doesn't really collect their trades very well.
It's in what's happening here is the church, the hospital, the cult that's in the hospital. That part, specifically the hospital part, is resolved by issue 7.
Sure.
But there's still stuff with this god.
That's like the overarching thing, it feels like.
Yes, exactly. And that's still there. And like, there's a big queue up for like how that's going to unravel next. But they do some really cool stuff. Firemind gets involved in the fight for the hospital. They do a lot of cool stuff. Honestly, you guys should really check out issues 6 and 7.
They're on my dresser. I'm going to be reading it. But another line I really liked is like, because you're right, Sparks. There are like in the middle books, they're still kind of very distrusting of each other, like from issues 2 through 2, 3, and parts of 4, maybe. They're very kind of like, But when they started to come together is when they, especially in issue 5, when they're hopping to different planes, like Jessica goes to Innistrad and blows up full werewolves, and then when he meets them all back in Dominaria, he's like, "Hey, I blew up." It's like I killed an info of werewolves, and they're like, "Nice!" They're like giving him props finally.
I got the exchange here because I think it's really funny. Real quick, Sparks. He's like, I blew up an info of werewolves. Jealous. And then the snake lady, the Medusa, comes in. She's like, "Hey guys, what's up? Good fortune." He blew up an info of werewolves. No way, really? It's like, it's cheeky. Yeah.
No, there's good stuff. I think issue 5 is also a good example of like, I like that issue. I thought that issue was paced out weird in a way that I had a hard time engaging with, like the timeline. It took a little bit for it to click, like, we're here, now we're here, now we're here, now we're there. With the way just issue 5 was laid out, I just would have kind of preferred it was different. So there's occasionally layout things. Notably, like the first issue, I wasn't hot on any of our 3 characters except for Vrashka, and it was specifically the moment where Vrashka like shows that she has emotions towards Jace, that they layered that in from the first issue. And I'm like, okay, so there's something here with this character. But they all start to unfold pretty nicely. I really go ahead.
Sorry, my apologies. I thought you were done. I would definitely say the first issue is the weakest of the issues, which is a bit of a bummer because that's the first issue should be the hook to really get you in.
It's just doing so much world building, heavy lifting.
I mean, when you're bringing in a franchise like Magic, where there's like so many different planes of existence, so many different lores, ladies, rules, characters,
multiverses.
Multiverses. It's entire multiverse, and you have these planeswalkers, these people, these beings who can literally hop, skip, and jump from one to the other with no problems whatsoever. It's like, damn, there's a lot. But at the same time, once issue 2 started rolling, that's when I really was like, okay, we're picking up steam here a little bit. I had to reread issue 1. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of words. And then I'm in issue.
Go ahead.
Then I'm in issue 2. I'm like, okay, now things are getting better. Like the blurbs weren't so like in your face; they're more like streamlined, especially when we meet the other members of the Guild Pact.
Oh yeah, see, I love reading. I'll read. Turn this into a book. I'll read it. Oh shit, they exist already.
Books are real.
Were there more alternatives for like a jumping on point to do like Magic the Gathering in this kind of medium? I would probably not recommend this one if there were more alternatives, but there aren't. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead and dive in here. It's just like, it's very dense. I don't know that it's necessarily the best way to enter the world of Magic for everybody.
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
like I got on board. Ryan obviously got on board, but I don't know that I would say it's like it's a good baby's first Magic the Gathering. Like in general, like anybody can get in here, and I'm like, maybe not quite. It might be a little steep.
Yeah, almost in a way, I would also categorize that almost like as a positive because it won't hold your hand, and it's not gonna be. What's the right word? It's not going to be like soft or easy. It's not going to be a soft, easy read. So there's no like, you're not actually learning anything about the world. Like, I think I would personally rather get more in-depth stuff than just like, oh, it's a cool dragon.
I'm not trying to say it as a negative. What I'm saying, what I mean by that is just like, it's more just the dearth of alternative jumping on points that makes it like, hey, like this is going to be a little hard probably for most people.
Yeah. I will say, I think the people who, and this isn't everyone, obviously, but the people who want to choose to read a Magic the Gathering one, as opposed to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or like Pokemon, I think they kind of know what they're getting into, though, as well. Because Magic is definitely a more, not mature, that's not the word, because like kids play it, but like, yeah, I guess mature. I don't know what other word, like a little more like not as kid-friendly, a little more like
out there, really. Whereas
out
like,
there.
I mean, even though Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean,
It's
if
a
you
little bit more
like,
complicated than like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, maybe that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that like it's dense. Like
it's more Dune. Like, it's more Dune than Star Wars.
Yeah, you got to get on board with a lot of things very quickly to engage with the story, and that's not bad. It's just a factor.
It's asking a lot of the audience. Absolutely,
because there's definitely people who like Marty, who I think would be down to check this out. Just know like it's dense, Marty. It's
Yeah.
it's dense. It takes a little bit to get into, but I think it's well written overall.
Yeah.
And I
And I
like the concept of what they're doing. I like the fact that they want to like out and out go after the hospital, but they can't because like all of the people, they're like, dude, do you want to cause an uprising? Like, what are you doing? It's the only place where like they feel that people, like most people feel like they're cared for. You can't just like go after them. Thank
and
you,
then
Marty,
the Valkyrie,
for agreeing with me.
the Valkyrie shows up. She's like, "You can't do this. I hate fighting."
Right.
I know the name of your god. Soon, Guildmaster. Soon, everyone will.
That's good. Yeah.
I want to spotlight 3 exchanges that I really liked. One is our tech planeswalker talking about Firemine, the dragon. And he's like, he may be a genius, but take it from another genius. We're stubborn. His mind is made up, even if he's wrong, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's the part where Kaya is jumping into the world of just the dead souls that are everywhere across the desert.
Egypt.
Yeah, and she says, a place where death is not a release, but eternal bondage. May some god have mercy on you, even as yours have failed you.
It's a pretty good one. I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah. And then there's the part where Kai's like, I kind of can't deal with Captain Vrashka's tropical getaway. She's smiling now. And Vrashka's like, yeah, I should take you there. A swashbuckling rogue like you would be right at home among the pirates of Jalan. And Kai is like, see? What is that? What is this? And that's where the characters really start to shine for me, which is why I wanted to keep going, because at that point, I really, really was engaged with them.
Yeah. Again, you're probably not going to show, but when that when the king of the assassins is talking to them in their dreams, you're not going to see it. Yeah, you're going to see it. Like there's you see her pirate ship, but then you see in the tech dude, there's 2 mechs fighting. There's 2 medieval mechs fighting, and one's got 2 heads. And I'm like, man, it's just like that's just a throwaway panel that dude probably took so long to make. And I'm like, God, like artists.
They do a very good job of the visualization. The art is so good of the different worlds that they come from, and the fact that they travel across these different planes of existence, and how that can lead to such different and various backgrounds for all of them.
Yeah, almost in a way like I guess like Fantastic Beasts. I don't know that's where my brain first went, but like I love that we just were introduced to so many new things, and it's like, welcome to this place. Here's what it's known for. Here's this thing. Here's what it's known for.
I felt like Arcane. Actually, a lot of it could have inspired a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
Or the other way around, I guess.
The other way around.
Because this came out last year.
Yeah.
But like Magic itself, inspiring Arcane.
Oh, sorry. Of course. Yeah. The books that we all love. Yes.
Right. Inspiring League of Legends. And there you are. I will say issue 6, which you guys did not read. At the end of issue 5, you meet the lady who thereafter who will have a history experience. You get her flashbacks of her encounter with this stuff previously.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it, it's intercut with like what we've seen so far art wise, but her flashbacks are a totally different art style.
Oh, cool.
It's very cool and unique, and I enjoyed it. And issue 7 is the battle for the hospital, and it's real cool.
Hell yeah. How many, cool. Ben, do you know how many issues it's up to?
14.
14? Okay, cool.
We said, 14.
That's like 7 trades for Boom Studios.
They turned a 12-issue miniseries into 3 volumes.
It's terrible. That's okay. They do what they gotta do.
Archie did the same too when they were in control of the Sonic franchise. They were gonna do Worlds Combined into 3 trades, and then they canceled the 3rd. It pissed me off. But that's
remember that story.
About Hedgehog now. We're talking
one final thing. This book also reminded me. Only one specific thing. It reminded me of The Warriors, the 70s movie The Warriors, where different gangs control New York City, and one gang has to get through the other gang. There's a scene where our group of heroes has to go through they go through a bunch of carnival people. And there's the carnival people stop them. They're like, hey, get out of our turf. And then Vraska just throws a knife through one of their necks. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know this was a violent comic. And she's like, let's fucking go, you guys. And I'm like, oh my God, our team is ready to get down.
I see you, Ryan, and all the Vraska people out there this evening. I see you.
Listen, she's the best character. Great character.
This one goes out to all the Vraska lovers out there.
Yeah.
You cool Medusas, you cool Gorgons. Yeah. I'm so glad you picked this book, Ben, because again, I've wanted to get into Magic's lore, but I'm not going to read those books that I didn't know even existed. I was going to wait for the show that was ended up being canceled. So this is great. I'm adding it to my pull list that I don't have yet.
I'm looking forward to continue reading. I can't wait to catch up on it. And it makes me really want to play Magic more. And I would love it if you guys would like to play Magic with me, because my Magic buddy unfortunately moved all the way to the East Coast.
Well, I moved 6 hours, so I can't help you.
You never come to visit, so F you.
I'm still nearby, but Ben doesn't contact me to hang out.
I get it, Ben.
Yeah,
We're
sure.
podcast friends.
Sure, just guilt trip me, why don't you? Jeez.
I'm kidding, buddy.
Watch the Orville.
Ben, I got good news for you. The Orville's still there. Okay, Ryan.
Hey,
It's your book club next week. Do you know what it is?
I do. Hold on. I do.
You got something.
No,
It's
I
cooking.
definitely. I thought I took another picture, and I guess I didn't. That's okay. So I'm gonna pick 5 issues. Next week we're gonna do a 4-issue original graphic novel. I wanted to preface this saying real quick. Every once in a while we do a bunch of modern comics, and my eye starts to twitch. So I got to pick something that before we were born, or I freak out. So I'm picking from 1989, Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom: Triumph and Torment, the original graphic novel by Roger Stern and art by Mike Mignola, one of his few Marvel works. Can't wait to read that.
The Roger Stern?
Are you thinking of Howard Stern?
I'm thinking about Howard Stern.
Yes. Nope. Roger Stern is a classic comic book writer. So that is a 4-issue original graphic novel. We are also going to add 1 issue. That's just a fun issue. Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme number 46. That is from 1988. That is a Infinity War crossover where Doctor Strange, Dr. Druid, Scarlet Witch, and what's the old lady from the WandaVision? Agatha. It's all of them teaming up to do some Infinity stuff. It's just a fun little.
What was the number of that issue?
46. 46 is correct. 1988. So actually, sorry. Read the single issue first, because that came out in 1988. Then read Triumph and Torment, which came out in 1989.
Cool.
5 issues in total.
All right.
Doctor Strange. That should have been last month's, but you know, shit happens.
Yeah, we just don't think about it.
Nope.
Okay. That's a wrap on Ryan,
Hey,
because we got to do our main topic now.
real
Ryan.
quick. I'm not gonna stay and listen. Are there actual like spoilers? Is this like a movie that has spoilers?
Yes.
There's one element that, yeah, I would say.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just curious, because like I figured it'd just be kind of like a fun, like a good, but like no like crazy things happen. But like I'll find out later.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Ryan, we'll see you next time.
Siri, end the broadcast.
Bye, Ryan.
Now let's go into our main topic. Full spoilers for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Nicolas Cage's new film, Pedro Pascal. Shit, full spoilers. You've been warned.
Yep.
What do we think about this?
You've been warned.
You're warned.
Ben.
Oh, I guess I'm going first now. I enjoyed this movie. I had a blast. I'm not so sure if I love it though. That's the thing. I don't have a really big negative to say about it, but when I was leaving the theater, I was like, man, that was a good movie. That was fun. But it wasn't like the Northman where I was like, man, that movie was so great, or it wasn't even like Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I know all 3 of those are completely different films and they're all right, but coming out of Unbearable Weight, I was like, I had a good time. I'm glad I saw it. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, if I didn't see it, then I probably wouldn't have been that upset about it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. I had a really good time with it. I think it's pretty solid, but I do think it fumbled its way to the finish line.
Sure. I really liked this. I thought it was very funny. Yeah, that's basically it. I just had a good time with this one. It's like, for me, it was like a good vibe. Like Nicolas Cage is just kind of hanging out with him. There's a lot of like how Nicolas Cage is putting in like a lot of his love of cinema. Like he's like, what's your favorite movie of all time? Oh, it's one of those possible questions because like it depends on your mood, depends on the thing. I really like that. Obviously, the Paddington joke really landed for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving that into the end of like the that's the movie that he bonds with his daughter. I appreciated that. Yeah.
I think that there's an amount of the script kind of being saying that they're aware of it. I think the kidnapping element starts to hurt the movie after a certain point.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Want to say more about that?
Yeah, sure. I think that once you get to a certain point in the kidnapping story in the third act, like it's just a different film. I don't think that we're playing to the arc of what we were setting up in the first 2 acts as much.
Yeah.
Like the first act tells me that a part of what this story is supposed to be about is Nicolas Cage changing his relationship with his daughter specifically. Or with how he balances his passion with being a father. And the third act doesn't actually do anything to change Nicolas Cage in that respect. Like, he saves them, which is cool, and everybody would appreciate that. But it's not like that's him changing how he behaves with her. Granted, like, there's the not going to the premiere party to spend time with them, offering for her to pick something to share with him. That's there, but there's not a come around. Like, the things that he does in the third act are not things that are actually in service of fostering that change.
Right.
I think it's all the more damning of his mentality at that point when he has Nikki in that last moment with Nikki say, where he says to Nikki, I have to go do this because she has to know I fought for her. It's still about him. It's not about her.
Yeah.
It's not about saving her. It's about that she has to know I tried.
Yeah.
I think are you done with your thoughts, Sparks? Or
I mean, there's a lot I can say about like what I feel about the third act, because it is the thing where I'm like, I think that the film is so brilliant up to that point that it is like something went off the rails a little there. Okay. Go ahead though. I'm sure I'm going to circle back on it.
Yeah, I want to say I think my biggest negative is actually the last scene with Nikki, because like when we first see him in the movie, he's like a younger, obviously it's a DH Nicolas Cage, and that's like his movie star side. It's like, no, the driving force is like, no, you have to be a movie star. You're not just an actor, you're a movie star. You have to star in these films. We have to get you into doing better, into bigger films, bigger blockbusters, yada yada yada. And then it turns out that that's the thing that's been holding him back with this relationship with his daughter. So in the last time where we do see him, we're essentially Nick Cage doesn't really look at himself in the eyes like, no, I want to do this for my daughter. I want to do this for her, not for me, for her. I think there could have been like a looking inside moment that where he faces his own inner demons, Nikki being the inner demon.
Oh,
and
don't say, wait, hold on. Am I misremembering? Don't they have a scene where he confronts his movie star side and like says, no, I'm going to do this for Nikki?
He does. Well, and then his movie star side kind of like kicks him down again.
Well, that's the whole point, is we're talking about that same moment, is that the thing is that he doesn't make that assertion. He doesn't say that I'm doing this for her. I'm doing it so she knows I tried to do it, which is a different statement, right? It's a statement about the self more than it is about her.
Yeah, he's still, even though he's doing a selfless act, he's still being selfish.
That's the spoiler, by the way. There's a DH Nicolas Cage running around in this movie.
I mean, I didn't think that was a spoiler. That was in the trailer.
No, it's not. Like, now that you've seen the movie, yeah, you notice it, but it's not what we thought it was.
No, for sure. Like, I thought it was him like dressing up in makeup.
Yeah, me too.
And like doing a performance for Javi when the trailer was out. That's what I thought it was. So I didn't see this interpretation coming. I like this.
Me too.
It's cool. That's the thing, is like, because I'm gonna praise like the front half a lot, and I really need to stress because like I know how it can sound, especially when I started on negative, but I started on negative because I like to end positive. I like so much of the first 2 acts of the film that it's only like, I know I saw this a few hours ago, and the third act has just like worn slowly down on me, where I'm like, oh, man, I feel like we missed greatness, right? We ended at good and we missed great. And like, clearly the first 2 acts of this film set me up like greatness was achievable here. And I don't think we quite got there. And there's something about, like, Michael and I talked in circles around like the different ways that the execution of this particular beat could have been changed to like reflect what needed to happen for the story. That like there's something about the way that they go into, even though I think it's cool visually, the way they go into the actual fake film of what you've watched so far.
Mhm.
The snippet that we get feels ill-placed. For example, one option I posited to Michael is that when he has that last confrontation to Nikki, you could have done it there. Once he comes out of that confrontation after he sees Tiffany Haddish's agent down, the whole movie is now the fake movie, right?
Mhm.
Almost like you're wondering, is this the movie they make? Or is this how Nicolas Cage is now interpreting things?
Mhm.
Because that's the only way he can get through it, which is a much more interesting question than the way that they ultimately come about getting there. For me, part of the context that like ends up, I feel like we rush into the ending, we rush into this epilogue where like, and now he's just worked things out with his daughter, I guess, for the best. But like, we don't watch change happen in him. Other than his daughter's life being at risk, we don't watch change happen in him in terms of that arc. He murders a man for supposedly the first time. I suspect that we're meant to believe Nicolas Cage's murdered man, and like it's not relevant. And that's another reason why like that whole kidnapping section, I'm like, there's something about like once we hit into that beat where we're like deep into the kidnapping stuff, when it's him going and getting the girls and chasing the thing, and I'm like, this could be any actor. This became less Nicolas Cage personal.
Mhm.
Like it's cool that it is Nicolas Cage. I'm enjoying watching this film, but you could do the same story beats that you're doing right now, and it could be any actor doing this movie, doing this bit, and it
Right.
lost the personal touch for what the movie had been doing up to that point, and became kind of just like this action movie beat that like I don't think connects to the first two acts as well.
Ben, can you bring up Maxwell's comment, please?
Yes, he says that Pedro Pascal has great chemistry with Cage.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight that. I think Pascal and Cage are very good together. They're clearly having a good time, which really helps sell their relationship.
Yeah.
And they kind of match each other's weirdness in a way that I didn't actually think Pedro Pascal could.
Yes, I thought that was really good too. And this is I will back off at some point. This is another one of my things with the third act is like once you cross that line after a certain point, right?
Mhm.
They're not on screen together as much anymore. They're not interacting as much anymore. The movie's suddenly like just not doing the stuff with them anymore. And that's
he
why
stays behind. He stays behind with his girl.
even before that, like we get him like going into the compound as Sergio by himself. That's not with Javi. Like I thought Javi was going to go in too. It's all just like it's so. It just loses what's like making it sing up to that point.
Yeah.
And it's so jarring because I think it is so good. The interactions between them, the way that they're developing, the way that they're learning things about each other, the way that ultimately like the story you're telling, right, is Nicolas Cage is this person who doesn't have an outlet to share in the things he appreciates about what he loves. So he's like just pushing it on his daughter when she doesn't want it. But he gets that in Javi. And now that he can have that outlet somewhere with an actual like friend that he connects with on that stuff, he can now actually like learn to take in and engage with his daughter in a different way rather than just like pushing.
Mhm.
And that's where I'm like, man, that is all gelling so well in those first two acts. Like it's really, really working. Yeah.
The scene where they where we think that Pedro Pascal is the villain at that point, and then they're like, go check in that house, in that room, and they've just taken acid, and they kind of like, if you go in there, you'll never look at me the same way again.
That's like the exact moment I was like, this is his Nicolas Cage trophy room.
Yeah. And it's just like the whole like they had the ask from Mandy.
Yes. The chainsaw.
Yeah. And then when he's just like, when he like moves the pillow and he's just like, no. And then Pedro Pascal moves it back.
Yeah. It's not creepy.
And then he sees the statue and is like, I'll give you 20,000. He's like, sorry, Mr. Cage, it's not for sale.
Yeah, I like their their chemistry, because you do buy when Nick Cage is told that like Javi is the bad guy before the reveal that it's his cousin, that he genuinely can't believe it, and like the audience are like, no, that doesn't actually track with the person we've met up until now. Like, how is he a mass murderer? And you kind of with Cage at that moment.
Yeah, like,
right.
There are times where you feel, because like I didn't peg. Okay, so I didn't peg the twist that it was his cousin until it actually happened, but the seeds of doubt were definitely sown. Like when Cage is talking to Tiffany Haddish and the other guy whose name I can't remember, but I recognize who he is in the CIA card. It's like, no, that's not the guy. You got the wrong guy.
Yeah, it's an after party reunion.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, this is the guy. This is the guy. And then like you get the scene where they're shooting skeet, and he talks about the whole thing with the gun and how you have to control your breath. It's like, maybe he is the guy. And then you go into his Nicolas Cage trophy room. It's like, maybe he really isn't. And when it's revealed that he truly isn't, it's like, I'm kind of relieved, because I really do like Javi. I was
very surprised. I was very surprised that Haddish and her partner died.
Yeah.
Like, so very unceremoniously.
Yeah, I wasn't too keen on that bit, to be honest.
Well, it's not that necessarily that I was too keen. It was just really shocking to me that like they don't really have a resolution. Like, kind of going back to what you're talking about, the third act, they don't really get a resolution in the third act. They just kind of die before it, and
it just doesn't. It feels like a different film all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like it just changed. It just wasn't doing the same things it was doing with the characters. And again, like the script is kind of acknowledging it, because when like they bring up the kidnapping arc, they're like, you've just changed the movie. And it's like, that's the thing for the general audiences, because you're having this character study and then you change it into this thing. And like, it does change. But like, I think there was still a way to like change it and still say something about Cage's journey. And they just didn't get that step. Yeah, I agree. Like it just feels weird the way we're traveling through it. And I thought maybe we were about to like get on track with when he goes in his last moment with Nikki because of looking at her body.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so this is where like, you know, a mental break, even if you come out of that moment and then he's interpreting it all as one of his movies, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, all of it has now changed its appearance, and you've got the different actors, and you've got like that's how he's going through it. And you do that all the way up to like the moment when Lucas gets stabbed, and then he comes back to reality. Like that, that would be something. Like, I'm not saying that's the only right way to do it. I'm just saying like there were different ways to engage with the path of how we're exploring this material. And it kind of just turned into, I guess, when the chips are down, Nicolas Cage can luck his way through some action sequences and murder some people just well enough to get to the end, which I'm like, cool. That's kind of like any beat of any action movie's third act that goes this way. And I just thought we were doing something different.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen like the FBI agents get a little bit. It feels unnecessary to have them because of the way they die off. They're just kind of there.
I wonder if there's a better film that just doesn't involve this kind of super seedy plot line about like the international stuff, the kidnapping, all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, is Javi dangerous? And that can just be a lingering question that Nicolas Cage is confronting on his own.
Yeah, the opening very much confused me when it starts with
like,
the kidnapping.
If you just go down to him misinterpreting, like if he thinks Javi's potentially dangerous of his own volition, right?
Yeah.
But Javi just wants to make a movie with him, and Javi brings the family because he's trying to help him, but he interprets that as they're now hostages.
Yeah.
You can still mine so much character stuff with Cage, with Javi, with them having that dynamic. And I don't think we need to do this kidnapping story. I don't think we need to do the CIA stuff. And that's kind of where, because of how it is in the third act, I just kind of ended up like, that wasn't the point of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like the point of the movie was what was happening between Cage because of meeting Javi. And I think that like we just got so sidetracked by the end from that that we kind of just end up like wrapping it up like Javi got to make a movie, yay, and he's fine, and he's with the girl, and this is great. We're not even going to show her on screen. We're just going to move on from that. Cage is also great with his daughter now, by the way. It's all good.
Yeah.
Movie done. And I'm like, man, that just doesn't feel good in comparison to everything that was leading up to it, because all of that felt great.
Honestly, I was longing for. Sorry, Sparks. I was longing for more. Like during the end credits scene, I was hoping for something. I don't know what I was hoping for. I was just hoping for like a little bit more or something. Not say sequel bait. Just because you know how sometimes they do like the main title credits, and then there's that little break where they can put a mid credits scene, and then the scroll happens. I was hoping for something there, but nothing happens, and I'm just like, okay, I guess that's what we're just gonna get. And I felt wanting more, but also I do agree that third act, it does totally change the movie. Looking back on it, yeah, when Javi says, but Nick, you're totally changing the movie, and now the movie is literally changing. It doesn't change for the better. It's still, like, I do agree with what you said earlier. Greatness could have been achieved. It was 2/3 of the way there, but it just didn't quite stick the landing.
Yeah. I love so much of like literally all of the first two acts. Everything about how we're introduced to him, the you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna read for you now, here we go, and doing the audition in front of the guy, and then being upset with Nikki on the drive, which I didn't think we were gonna get something like that soon. Like just getting Nikki as a presence that early was cool. Like, get out of the car, Nikki, I don't need you. Just all of that. We spent so much good time building him for the interpretation that we're doing, the satire on Nicolas Cage that we're doing for this film, with the beats with his family, with the beats with his daughter, with the, you know, like the prioritizing of how he thinks about his career, about how he thinks it's work that he loves, but there's this like battle inside of him between like needing to be recognized for it and just wanting to do it. And like he kind of can't make up his mind about which one of those things he really values more. Right. The recognition or the work. And that's like that's his personal internal dilemma that is causing him to be bad at his relationship with his daughter, which is the main plot point, external dilemma.
Yeah, because he says in that therapy session, like, this is my work. This is my job.
Right. And I think that's all so good and so well built. And then you again, like, you know, he's ready to quit acting because of where he's at with this argument with himself. And then he goes and meets Javi, and Javi like rekindles this idea of what it means to connect with those things and this passion. And he's able to see something in Javi, appreciating his work that he hasn't gotten to engage with, appreciating cinema that he hasn't gotten to engage with. And the whole way that their shenanigans unfold, the Paddington 2-bit, the whole paranoid LSD trip, even the first moment where Nicolas Cage decides to play with Javi and goes off the cliff with him, and they start to open up with each other. I thought that was really good. It was really, really an interesting way to crack open that egg on their development. I didn't think that's the way it was going to go. Javi like forcing him to play.
Yeah. I didn't think that was a cliff. We could have died.
Yeah. Like all of that is just so excellent.
Seeing their relationship go from just like you hired me for a job, I'm just here to do a job, to legitimate friendship, that was the highlight of the film. Like the first two acts, just Sparks, like you keep saying, just seeing them go, like Nick kind of standoffish, like when he just goes in the water, or he's like, I'm quitting acting, and how he takes him to the cliffs, and then all the way up to the Paddington 2-bit, like when he just turns around and just goes, "Fucking told you."
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It's like, this is great. This is what I'm here for. I want to see, but still there's that little thing dangling in the back of your head. It's like, but could he really be the bad guy? And
when Pedro Pascal saves him from drowning, he just drops into the pool.
Yes.
Which is like a bottle of beer and just goes chug.
Yeah. I think all of that, all the performance stuff that they're doing is really good. I do like Nicolas Cage when he does the first like bit of spy stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, I just got to go. I touched my forehead." Did you? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think I did. I'm fine. I did.
That was a really good bit, just because I saw it happen. He's just like, "Okay, I think I just touched my forehead."
Yeah. And I really liked Haddish using action to make him respond and get up. Yeah, I thought that was cute. I love the way that like Javi throws facts out at him to like make him fess up that he can do things, and it's like, you're a faster runner than me, and he's like, what's that based on? National Treasure. And he's like, that's the stunt team, and he's like, not according to the bonus features. And Nicolas Cage is like, damn it.
I really liked how much of Nick Cage's media, like if you look at the credits, they're all in there, and some like there's Ghost Rider merch and there's National Treasure merch. Like they really went through and to get like representations of like everything.
The one thing I actually do have to say, because I want to say they possibly used his real name for when he's playing Nicky.
They did.
Yeah, they used Nicolas Kim Cage. I didn't know, or Nicolas Kim Coppola.
And
I was like, I didn't know his middle name.
That's how that's how he's credited in the credits. Nicky is separate from Nicolas Cage and credited by his real name.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat little tidbit where it's not just like Nicolas Cage. It's like, no, this is Nicolas Kim Coppola. It's like,
do you know why his name is Nicolas Cage?
Interesting.
Because his uncle is Francis Ford Coppola, so he changed it.
It is, but do you know why it's Cage?
No, I do not.
His favorite comic book character is Luke Cage.
You know what? I should have known that because he did a Wired interview and he said that Luke Cage is his favorite, so that's why he changed it. All right.
Mag brought up, it's like my name is Bruce, but very different, and that's true.
Yeah.
There's definitely like it's playing in that vein. There's some man who knew too little because of the spy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great movie here, and I'm coming away with pretty good.
Yeah.
And like I'm happy to have pretty good. I enjoyed so much. I was laughing so hard at so many moments of this movie. I was just going crazy. Like the whole bit where Nicky pulls Nicolas Cage in for a kiss. He's like, "Yeah, Nicky kisses real good." Like, holy shit! You tell everybody wants a Nicky kiss,
which is good.
Yeah, that was something.
What did that look like? What did that look like from the outside?
The way he like pulls Nicky in, like it's really just going for it. It says a lot. I really enjoy it. I think there's a lot of good stuff. I just I think that the kidnapping CIA stuff I think was just ultimately not necessary, and I think it ended up just distracting from what the story was.
There isn't even really I would have liked to see some sort of interaction between him and the first girl, because she was watching Con Air, and then when she sees Nicolas Cage, who's actually rescuing her, she's like, oh my god, like the birth of a new Nick Cage superfan.
Sure.
But then there's just nothing besides her realizing.
Well, she says in the beginning, Nick Cage rules.
Yeah. Or just, I don't know. I there is a lot in that third act that I wish there was different. A lot of the ending I wish there was different. But at the same time, those first two acts, I mean, they don't completely outweigh the third one, but they do give us like, this is worth a watch, even though if the third act kind of does go, you want to make a right, but the movie says, nah, we're making a left.
I think it's like outside of, no, I'm gonna say even with the bit where he plays Sergio, like it's just not even like an interesting bit of him playing Sergio, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I get what they were going for there, but it's just like everything just feels very standard. I think the one thing that I really like in that whole section is where he is asked, do you have any last words? And he just throws that entire read he gave from the beginning of the movie at him. Yeah. That just like confuses him and throws him off. And I'm like, well, that felt like Nicolas Cage. Mm-hmm. But that's like the one moment where he shines through in a third act that mostly makes it like very, very, very standard action movie kind of beat to me. Sure. Like this is just as easily Liam Neeson in Taken. Like there's not a lot that we're doing different in story here.
Nicolas Cage wishes he was Liam Neeson.
But you get what I mean there.
I don't actually mean that.
I do think it's visually very cool when we do change to like the Hollywood movie, and like the embassy is suddenly like architecturally more beautiful with more American flags prominent, and the Jeep is more militarized automatically. It's not even the same. Like I thought that was very cool. I was like, yeah, I could see a version where maybe we did this for longer, and so the action moviness of it felt more heightened and silly because of that. But it just like it creates this weird energy around like if that's the Hollywood movie, that bit we see right at the end, then the stuff we just saw before is the reality. And in the reality, we didn't see Nicolas Cage reckon with murdering people. We didn't see Nicolas Cage make the change in who he is in relation to what's been going on with him. We barely see anything happen with him and Javi. Before it's just the epilogue, which is a good epilogue, but doesn't feel totally earned by the merits of what was leading up to it.
Right. It's a good point.
I'm trying to think of like some of the other juicy. I really love that the guys that they're paranoid about are just somehow sitting in the new location after they've traveled far away. They're just suddenly there.
And that's,
I mean, are they? Who knows? They're probably not.
It was completely incidental too, because they look confused, like, why are they running away again?
Yeah.
I had a good time with this movie. I agree with you though. A lot of what you said.
Yeah. I had a really great time watching it. I think it's a lot of fun. I'd rather have it than not have it. I think Nicolas Cage has a really just great energy, and Pedro Pascal keeps up with him beat for beat. Couldn't have picked two better people for like what those first two acts are doing. Just really, really enjoyable. Yeah, it's just, I wanted it to be just a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah, but...
I wanted just a little bit more meat on that bone.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you guys were done. Mag is saying he's curious with the Bodyguard movie where he plays the Secret Service agent. The movie
guarding Tess.
Guarding Tess. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Why don't we rate it?
Yeah. I gotta think about it for a second. Ben, you want to go?
Ben?
Sure, I'll go. I'll give it a 7.5. I know that's kind of a little bit. I mean, it's not as bad as a 6 or a 5, of course, but I would still say this is a very fun, enjoyable movie. But the third act does weigh it down quite a bit. And I still think it's a good time. It's still a good movie to me. It's still a very fun movie. If you're a huge Nick Cage fan, you're going to go see it. But even one thing I will say, when I was leaving the theater and I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't think I have a favorite Nick Cage movie. Unless National Treasure, but that's about it.
Family Man's pretty good.
Boy, I don't know. I'd have to really think on that one.
Have you ever seen Family Man, Sparks? I'm not even going to pretend to ask Ben.
Yeah, I've seen Family Man.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a good one.
Ghost Rider, obviously, both of them.
I forgot about Ghost Rider. I was thinking
I'll never forget about Ghost Rider. It's knocking at the door!
His performance in the second one is so good.
It's very good. I kind of want to watch it again after watching this movie.
Yeah, but one huge, huge tip of the hat and kudos to Nick Cage, because he is delivering all those jokes great. Like the bit at the very end of the movie with his belt buckle, where his dresser wanted to wear a bumblebee. He's like, no, not the bees, not the bees.
Mm-hmm.
Not for nothing, Pedro Pascal's pulling his weight here too, really totally well when he's allowed to. Like he's showing up, he's doing the work for sure. Right. God, that shot where Cage looks over at him when they're on LSD and he's driving the car, he's like,
yeah. A big smile. Okay, so Ben, you said 7.5, just to remind the audience.
Yeah, 7.5.
Sparks.
I'm gonna go 8 because like there is so much good in this movie. I just like I expand on. It's also like frankly like. If the third act had been perfect, I would just be here saying like, what an incredible movie. And I'd just be saying that over and over again. And like, it's not a movie where there's a whole lot to tear apart at. It just, I can't say it any more succinctly than like this should have been a great movie. And I feel like we were so close because there's so much interesting material here, and they're having such a good time making it and displaying it. And I just really wonder what a version that didn't do the kidnapping story would have been.
Yeah.
Because I just am fully convinced that you could have done something where he's just suspicious of Javi potentially just being dangerous for him, and then later for his family, and then just run with that, and then like it's actually fine, and it's all just a misunderstanding of circumstances. But the character stuff that's been unraveled on the way is what's interesting. So yeah, I give it an 8. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in it.
Before I give it mine, can you bring up Mag's thing? Because he's right. The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off are all 3 great Nicolas Cage movies.
I need to rewatch Con Air. It's been a long time. Never seen The Rock or Face Off. But also, I'm going to put up Mag's rating if you don't mind.
I'm actually really surprised you haven't seen Face Off.
That's what John Travolta,
I'm not.
right?
I don't know why that one surprises me, because like, I guess maybe I'm surprised you haven't seen The Rock.
I'm surprised
watch
he
these
hasn't.
movies.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised he hasn't seen Con Air of the 3.
No, I have seen Con Air. I just need to rewatch
Oh, okay.
it.
I thought you said you hadn't seen any of them.
No, it's been a very long time. But anyways,
No, then see, Ben's on brand to me.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, Mag gives the movie an 8.
The Rock's great. Okay, sorry. I'll probably give it a 7.5. It kind of feels like mostly just vibes for me. I just kind of digging being with this actor for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Still a good time in the movie theaters.
All right. So, guys, next week we are going to be talking about Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Sometimes.
That's the new one that is going to be on Disney Plus this weekend.
Next week, Ben will be our expert on Rescue Rangers. He'll reference all the things that come up from the show in the new movie because he's going to watch the whole show over the next week. So thank you, Ben, for doing that work in advance.
I appreciate you, buddy.
I quit.
It's just like, this is the last straw. Watching the Rescue Rangers.
Rescue. I just love watching Rescue
Rangers. Watching the Rescue Rangers. I don't know why this is it, but this is.
No, okay, it's not to say that I don't like the Rescue Rangers. I loved the Rescue Rangers when I was a kid, but at the same time, it's one of those shows that's like, hey, that's a good nostalgia trap. Don't want to go back to it.
Ben, I'm stopping you, because all those Toon Disney shows, they hold up. They're good for all of it, all ages.
Okay.
Yeah, because it came out around the same time as Darkwing Duck.
65 episodes, Ben. You can watch 65 episodes this week.
30 minutes each? Yeah, that's let's do it. That's only what, 200 something hours? 300 something hours? Okay. Hey guys. Thank you. Good night. Mag says good night. Actually, no, he doesn't. He says catch you later. Stay safe, gang. You too, sir.
You too, bud.
Thank you for all that jihad. I'm tired. Check out our other shows on this channel, guys. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. You can check out Fake Nerds Watch, which puts up a bunch of shows. Our last episode of Moon Knight is out, so that's the entire series of Moon Knight. You can check out some other Marvel stuff as well. Star Trek Picard just finished, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds has begun. So stay tuned for all of that. Maybe, hopefully, our schedules will line up that Sparks will be on a Strange New Worlds.
Don't count on it.
I hope I can get you on for at least one. I'd love to talk to you about it, like more in depth.
You know what'll happen? It'll be the one episode I have. I'm like, I actually have some negatives about this one. And it'll be like, Jesus Christ.
That's totally going to be it. So check out all those Victor's Watch shows. You can also check out some of our other shows, such as Basement Arcade Pause Menu, Fake Nerd Book Club, and Animation Station. All of which you can find on this channel. Again, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Check out our Patreon or our TeePublic if you'd like to support us financially. We greatly appreciate it. You can find all these links on our website at www.fakenerdpodcast.com. There are also links below. Yeah. Thank you, everyone who listens. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who watches the live show and the rewind for later. Guys, like I said up top, send us some questions. Our 6th anniversary is coming up. We want to answer some questions from you guys. Whatever you got.
Anything.
Whatever you got. Email us,
fakenerdguys. You want to know my opinion on Sex in the City? I will come up with one for you.
I'll come up for it for you is our slogan for the show.
I will come up with an answer.
I will come up. I'm writing it down.
How are you spelling a certain word?
Oh, CUM. Yeah, I'd have no chill. Um,
This is a
Okay.
very blue episode.
yeah. Okay, check out, again, email us at victorpodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, you can send us your questions there, or you can send them, I did this wrong. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci for our, oh my God, what's happening? We're completely thrown into chaos.
The LSD's wearing off.
You
Brandon,
are
take it away.
completely thrown into chaos. Just pulling Ben and I along quietly, aimlessly. Ben and I are just like, what's happening?
No.
Oh, what's wrong with me? Thank you to everyone who listens. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci. We love you, buddy. He did all of our music for this whole episode. All you heard tonight, all you'll hear in other shows, he did all of that. You can find his Instagram at Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards. You can find his podcast on iTunes, Facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist Official, or Instagram at Subproc Podcast. I feel like this is supposed to be later. Find us. You can also check out Mike Matola, who does a couple of our logos, some collaborations. You can check him out at Mike Matola on Instagram and TikTok. Like I said up top, you can email us, send us some questions. Fake Nerd Podcast on all the social media, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Ben.
You can find me constantly screaming into the void on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at BenMagnet27. Also, I write for Old School Gamer Magazine, Fusion Gaming Magazine, and GoNintendo.com, which, if you don't remember, my newest article for Go Nintendo about New Super Mario Bros. 16th anniversary is down in the description below. And also, I try to stream on Twitch on Tuesday and Saturday mornings at 2 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/BenMagnet27. BT dubs, the B and the M are capitalized, just to let you know.
I also write things I forgot to say, but I won't mention them all now. Sparks?
Brandon writes at Screen Rant. You can check out a lot of his stuff there. Just in general, go to his Twitter if you want to check out some of his writings. I'll plug his stuff if he's not willing to. Atomic Geekdom, where he's writing his Infinity Saga countdown. You should check that out. You can find me probably watching more anime at Sparks Witty on Instagram and Twitter, SPARKZ Witty. And you can find Ryan at DJ Tony Snark on most things. That's Tony Snark, not Tony Stark. 616 and on Instagram specifically, and you can catch him doing some more Batman Telltale streaming.
I really like how you're talking into the mic. Sounds so sexy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now we really should leave. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music and Podcast, and Pandora. Rate and review wherever you get us. Greatly appreciate it. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. Until next time we see us, guys.
I'm about to give you a Nikki kiss.
Stay fake nerds.